who followed it, when I witnessed her solve a case out of Idaho with 2 missing kids. It was on January 31st, 2020. She did her first read on 2 missing kids that were named JJ and Ty Lee, and they were missing out of Idaho, but originally from the Chandler, Arizona area. Nobody knew where these kids were at the time, and Donna came on to YouTube and she did an entire, it was like a reading of what she saw psychically that happened to these children. What ended up coming out was exactly what happened to them. And what later came out in the preliminary hearing of one of the not victims, the perpetrators, was exactly what Donna said. In fact, she did 12 readings on these missing kids, and every piece of info that came out from Donna ended up being pertinent in the trial. It was amazing. So ever since then, I have followed her very closely. She's always got her finger on the pulse of these different cases that we go over, and she's always extremely accurate. So I wanted to bring her on today and talk to her about the Nancy Guthrie case and sort of pick her brain on what she's seen psychically with this case. So Donna, can you tell me, what day did you start to kind of zero in on this case and do your first reading on it?
The first reading is February 1st. So
okay.
When she went missing in the middle of the night and it was on the news, I just had a really bad feeling about it right away. And I had a feeling it was related to that Epstein thing.
Okay.
Or I'm not sure if I had a feeling. But the first reading is over an hour long. It's like 70 minutes. And I was sick in bed, so
yes, you've
there's
been
an echo
going
on here,
through
but that's
it.
okay. So I was sick in bed. My thyroid just like expanded, and it was pushing on the inside of my neck and stuff. And so I was too weak to get up and edit it and put it online. But I just watched, and I did. I'd meditate almost every day. So I have probably almost 15 different meditations. Some of them have between 10 and 20 minutes of usable, because I pray a lot, and then there's 3 of them that are like over an hour long of me just going on and on and on
About detail that you're
I have
seeing.
a lot of information. I have a lot about locations and everything that happened and different stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But I don't feel 100% safe just kind of putting it all out there,
Yes.
because I'm not joking when I say it's related. I'm not just saying that off the top of my head. And
Yeah.
people would probably have to spend a little time reading those to understand the seriousness of this. Is not about teenage girls. The mainstream media has led people to believe the Epstein files are about teenage girls, and they're not.
Yeah. They've really underplayed and downplayed the reality of them and how absolutely diabolical Jeffrey Epstein and his cronies were, and also what they did to children. There's no
Yeah.
ignoring that.
No. Well, they're ignoring that. And
But I mean, if you know the facts.
Yeah, they timed this to go right with
Yeah.
the release of them. And so the mainstream media would have an excuse to cover something else 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I mean, there was just barely a blip about anything in the Epstein files. And you notice even the major podcasters like Nancy Grace and, TMZ is in the Epstein files. Ashley Banfield is in the Epstein files. Savannah's in the Epstein files. Her husband's in the Epstein files. There's a whole lot going on there.
There really is. It's so weird how many players that are in the files are the biggest part of this case. Like that, who can ignore that? And then the media actually just glosses over. It's like no mention really of the connections, right?
There's
TMZ.
zero mention. Nancy Grace has not mentioned it a single time that this happened less than 24 hours after they released those files. Brian Enton has not mentioned it a single time. But they walk around every day going, "Where's Nancy?" And it's like not one single time do they address the elephant in the room. Not once.
I know. Let's go over some of the facts of the case, and then I want to know exactly what you feel has taken place here.
Okay.
So let's see. At 9:48, or sorry, at 5:32 on Saturday night, which would have been January 31st, Nancy's son-in-law, I'm sorry, the Uber picked her up from her house. At 9:48, Nancy's son-in-law dropped her off at her home. By 9:50 p.m., the garage door closed. By 1:47, the doorbell camera completely disconnected. And that's when you see the video of the weirdo come on. At 2:12, software detects person on camera. At 2:28, pacemaker app shows a disconnection from Nancy's pacemaker she had in her chest to the app that she used, I guess, to track it. At 11:56 a.m., the family checked on Nancy because she didn't show up to her church service that she liked to watch at another location, I guess via satellite or something. 12:03 p.m., 911 is called. By 12:15, patrol arrives. That would have been on Sunday, let's see, February 1st. And it's approximated that he could have been in the home between 40 and 50 minutes. Now, Donna, take it from here. What did you pick up about this whole scenario on your first reading before there was diddly squat for info out?
I could even open it up because I put all the readings in the transcriber, so I have
Okay.
transcriptions to
Yeah.
see what I said if you want me to.
That would be amazing. Yeah,
Okay.
please.
Tell me if you lose me when I minimize the screen or not.
Okay.
Can you still see me?
I can see you. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Let
Good.
me look for my Nancy Guthrie folder. It's pretty huge.
I'm so glad that you started to like tune into it before it became the hugest case that we've had in years.
Yeah, so on February 1st was the first one I did.
Okay.
And then it looks like I did 3 just that day.
Wow.
Oh, so the first one, I'm just asking if she's alive in her physical body, and I was getting no. And see, that's always a hurdle for me as a medium because I want to have a good outcome, and I want people to be alive, so I have to accept myself they're not alive to allow myself to see what
Right.
happened.
Right.
And let's see. So this is just, the first one is just a few minutes of me kind of coming to accept that she's not there.
Okay.
And then the next, a few minutes later, I'm praying. Let's see. You know what I regret over the years? I should have just left all my prayers in there because I pray so much. And then I was thinking, with everything going on in the world, it probably would have been nicer to leave all the prayers.
That's actually a good idea.
See.
And it would help people understand the process in which you do this,
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that one, it's just I'm kind of connecting.
Don, I'll be right back. I got to get some air conditioning on.
Okay.
It's a little toasty in here. Hold on.
Let's see. So this one's an hour and 20 minutes. This is still February 1st. And I'm praying. Let's see, praying. See, I'm praying for 10 minutes. Sometimes I pray 2 or 3 minutes, and all of a sudden I start seeing visions. And other times I'm praying for, like here, it's like 15 minutes into it, I'm still praying. See, then all of a sudden I'll be like, go unconscious, and I'll start seeing visions. Sometimes I remember them, sometimes I do not. But I record them, so let's see. Still 20 minutes in, I'm still praying. Oh, okay. So around 26 minutes in, I'm getting that it's related to the newscaster lady, which is interesting because Savannah's husband is in the Epstein files, which I didn't know at the time. And I didn't know her name, and I don't watch network TV, so sometimes I'm calling her Samantha. Like, I didn't even know who she was, really. And so her husband worked for Al Gore for 4 years as his fixer, cleaner-upper, which is consultant is the professional name. But then 8 years he spent working for the Clintons, so you can imagine what he saw and in his career. And then after that, he formed his own company, like a private company, to do that same kind of work. And a lot of people, you know, are always blaming Hillary Clinton for things, but in this case, I was definitely getting right at the beginning that it was related to her specifically. And I know people blame the son-in-law, but he's not in my readings anywhere.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying he's guilty or innocent. I'm just saying he does not appear in my readings anywhere. And it all appears with somebody who's angry with the news. Because I call her, like, I didn't know her. So I'm just like, so it definitely feels related to the newscaster lady.
Okay.
This is interesting, though. It feels like someone who has an obsession with her. So he finds out where her mother lives or something like that.
Wow.
And
Okay.
let's see. So I think the blonde guy comes in there pretty quickly. Okay. So I say now we obviously, okay, I'm talking about, there could be a similarity. Oh, Ryan Ruth guy. That's the blonde guy. Oh,
Which
here.
he's the Trump shooter, isn't he? The second or
Yeah.
third Trump shooter?
So there's something in common with him. I don't know if it's his looks, like that he's blonde. I don't
Okay.
know if it's his name. I don't know if it's the fact that he's a little fanatical and probably got groomed to do what he did.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that, but I know there's something in common. And so I'm talking about that guy, that they're showing me that guy. And then I say, now we obviously know he's in jail, but there could be a similarity to him, and it could be a personality, it could be looks. Because at first when I saw it, like, I'm seeing a Hispanic guy, so I don't know yet. So I'm seeing both of them. This is on the first day. I'm not deep enough to know. Eventually, if I go unconscious, then the spirit guides take over, and then we'll know what's up. So right now, I'm just kind of skimming the surface, getting little bits and pieces. Oh, I want to say something. So I put up a video on my channel yesterday, and I forgot to say, when I was talking about the Ryan Ruth character, I forgot to say, I think it's in this first reading where I'm saying he hits a brick wall.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
remember that.
that matters. That matters. That's some sort of clue. Like,
Okay.
you know, did he lay bricks there? Or is it just that the investigation's going to hit a brick wall? Or is it somebody who hit a brick wall? You know, so
Interesting.
I don't know, but that is,
So could he be a day laborer there? You know, he could be
it's
somebody
possible.
related.
Yeah, he could be a brick worker that some people who were going to do this like kind of chummed up to and made him feel important. And but I'm not saying that it is, right? Because
Right.
okay, here it is. Okay, I'm seeing this guy very similar in some way to the Ryan Ruth guy. She does a story, but then I'm seeing kind of like a brick wall. Mm-hmm. So somehow that's a clue. So I say, interpret that the way you want. There could be a literal brick wall or figurative. So this is the first day, you know, and there's that saying, we hit a brick wall, means they can't find any more leads.
Right.
You know, but this is day one, I'm saying this. So does he have any connection to brickwork, or was he, when he did this, he walked into the brick wall and maybe left some of his own DNA there? I don't know the answer. I just know
That's
that
so
that
interesting.
matters. That's a clue, and I forgot to say it on my video.
My experience with you and the clues you find, there's none that don't matter. Like everything matters that you say in my experience. So I have a
Yeah.
feeling there's something with a brick related. Could it even be in the name? The word brick, you never know.
Yeah, it does matter. I know it matters. That I see the man go in the back door, and then there's a dining area. So whatever door is right next to a dining table, that's where they went in. And then I say he feels like he knows his way around the house. At the very least, he's seen a map, and he does know where she sleeps. So because he goes straight there, because I saw him go by this table, and he didn't even look. Like normally if you're gonna go around a corner, you kind of look to make sure no one's coming, even if it would just be habit. But he just goes straight in and turns and goes straight to where she sleeps. And then I say he put a gun to her head. So there's something, and it feels like he picks up her cell phone. So there would be his DNA on her cell phone, possibly, if he's the blonde guy, if he doesn't have the gloves on. But They seem pretty professional. So, but anyways, I say it feels like he picks up her cell phone. And the interesting thing is, okay, so if he puts a gun to her head, but then I'm seeing her wash her face. I saw her take off her necklace. I saw her wash her face in the bathroom, and then it being attacked right when she comes out of the bathroom. So how that fits together, I don't know. You know, and it's good, like, if you're doing this kind of work, not to try to make it fit together, because especially at the beginning, there could be more mind garbage, and then like
Yes.
you see something over and over again, and you know it's there. And I in at least more than half the readings, probably almost all of them, I see her attacked, and then I'm saying she's kind of laying halfway down, halfway sitting up, kind of panicking, but trying to stay calm.
And you feel that she was socked in the face from what I've
Really
heard you
hard, like
Okay.
really hard.
And that's where the blood is coming from, you think, Donna, that's on the front porch as you're exiting the home or
Well, there
entering?
was more because, okay, I don't know if it's the person with that ring, but I also saw her hit over and over in the head, and I never seen anything like this. So I was like, does he have this little weapon in between his fingers? It's like a teeny little blade sticking out. And then I looked it up on artificial intelligence, and they told me the name of, basically they're self-defense rings, and they have different names, but like you
Like
can
brass
flick
knuckles?
no,
Almost?
you can flick the top off the ring. Like if you
Oh.
look it up, you can flick the top off the ring, and it's like a tiny little blade.
Oh, wow. That's
Ye-
wild. Okay.
Yeah, and combine that with the fact that the person on the porch had this big ring that was sticking out. That might have been that person, or it could have been the other one. And then I also saw him twisting her neck. So I would think that she was not dead then, but just barely conscious.
Did you feel like this guy was in the house as long as the experts are saying, like quite a while, 40, 50 minutes?
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah. I think because they had a time set up with the others, with the people in the band. Because look, I'll just say on 39 minutes, I'm saying they feel like they're either some kind of special ops thing or they're trained civilian cartel people, special ops people. But either way, they seem organized into what they're doing. So that's the most I want to say about that.
Yeah. Wow, Donna.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a really big deal, and it's, that's the most I'll say is they seem trained and organized.
Right.
It was no joke what they were doing. And from the very beginning, there was never a kidnapping for ransom. There was no intention ever for her to survive that night.
So you're saying that part is bullshit.
Absolute 100% bullshit.
Okay.
Bullshit.
Okay.
And made up diversion. And then when you put TMZ, who is in the Epstein files as being a friend of Jeffrey Epstein, who would be willing to write an article to smear someone that they don't like, who might be coming forward, it wouldn't be any leap to think that TMZ would take part in a psyop.
This
And
is
all
so
the other
nuts.
media stations are bowing to TMZ as if they're what kidnapper, what real ransom kidnapper would send their ransom letter to TMZ? So she was,
Right,
anyways,
right.
what I was receiving is this was never a kidnapping for ransom ever.
So she died immediately is what you pick up. This was not supposed to be some ransom. That was just a diversion. Just
They took
BS.
her out of the house to create the big brouhaha of the media focusing on this instead of the release of these Epstein and what the things in the Epstein files said. And
Right.
if somebody went over on X and took the time to read them, you'd know what I was talking about. I don't think that we could continue to repeat that. I mean, in my video over there that says The Road to Nogales, I was crying the whole time, telling people about these Epstein files, but I don't think I could get away with that over and over doing that. And she wasn't killed in the house, but she was brought right to the place where I saw her put in an incinerator.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, here on the 2nd of February, it says border. Let me see. So when I make that accusation, there's a lot there behind that, but I don't feel safe to just sit there. People end up dead that continue to talk about stuff like that.
Yes.
And I don't want to, but suffice to say, I'm not saying that off the top of my head.
Can I tell you on a total side note, extra rabbit trail, and you probably know about this, but there's like 8 different scientists that have gone missing or murdered
Oh
in
yeah,
their
and I'm gonna.
pursuit to find out about aliens. Have you been hearing about this stuff?
Yeah, I got their picture put on my wall.
I mean, this is insane.
I
So,
got this McCaslin guy's picture on my wall, like, come in, because sometimes when I put their picture up, within a few days, I'll feel their presence.
okay,
And I haven't felt his presence yet, but
this is
yeah,
wild.
I looked up the few of them, and if anybody hearing this, if you're in any groups, run across any families, I'm very interested. I will do readings for free for any families or friends of any of these missing scientists, yes.
And you did readings for Seth Rich, didn't you, Donna, related to the whole Clinton thing?
I did a reading for Seth Rich, and that was back in 2017, I think,
Okay.
whenever he died. So that was before I was putting things on YouTube.
Right.
And I did a reading for Seth Rich, and so what I saw was him walking up the street, and a squad car pulled alongside him and said, "Hey, we need to talk to you, um, you know, about a burglary." They got out. So for a second, he's standing there until he realizes they're up to no good. And this is a squad car, Washington, D.C. police squad
Oh
car.
my gosh. So,
And so
so
he starts
police,
running. That's when they shoot him in the back, right? Well, so then there's more to it than that, but so then I look up, who do you call to tell? You know, I'm thinking the FBI would be handling something like this. I'm like, who do you call to tell about that?
right?
And it was the Washington, D.C. police.
I've
So
heard they're so crooked.
they were
It doesn't
offering a
shock me.
reward of 100,000 for information, and I'm like, oh, so that's the, fox guarding the hen house there.
Yep.
Because what am I going to do? Call them up and tell them that their own officers did this? Or at least someone dressed like them and access to a squad car. I guess I have to give them that much benefit, which is like, what, 1 in 1,000? So then I started researching, like, what do I do? The FBI is not even dealing with this. This is a major thing. And then I find out, I read that Hillary Clinton hired off-duty Washington, D.C. police as her private security detail.
So they were
So
in her pocket.
she had a bunch of them working for her already. So, and that she wasn't in my reading though. It was just the event.
Yeah.
And and so then I was just like, well, there's some cases that there is no resolution because these people are above the law.
So true. And yeah, good way you put it. That is 100% what I think too. Like they've got so much money, they don't have to abide by the same rules we do. They're just so beyond us. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
So on the second day, I'm going on and on about that cactus, which also appears in every reading, and there's more
Yeah.
details about that. But I think I'm going to do something about the locations separately. And then, I already did talk about that cactus where you take a right turn at the cactus to get on the 19 freeway to go to Nogales. Let me see.
Did you pick up the number 19 then on this first reading, Donna?
No, and to note, there are 3 routes to Nogales. I just picked up Nogales.
Okay.
I picked up Nogales, and then I would see this giant sign with a cactus on it. And so I asked an artificial intelligence. This stuff used to take me weeks to look up, to research, to find. And I'm just like, ask artificial intelligence, where between Nogales and the address of Nancy Guthrie is a sign with a cactus? And so I don't know it's that sign, but they go, oh, on Oracle Street, 1525 Oracle Street or something. So I look it up, and there it is, a big sign with a cactus, and it's right where you would take a right turn. Right after that, you get on the 19, and it goes to Nogales. So all that I saw fits together, because if you left Nancy's house, I saw them take a left out of her driveway, which I forgot to say on my video too. I saw them people wonder how she got out or how they got out of that neighborhood. I saw them take a left. But anyway, so if you turned on Oracle Street, if you were going to Nogales, that's exactly where you would go.
Dang.
And
That's
the
wild.
other two ways, they could have went that way too. I don't know. See, that's where, if I had the ability to drive around there, I could
That
start
would
seeing
help.
things I recognized from my different readings.
Yes. Were there other landmarks besides the cactus that
there's
felt
nonstop
really
landmarks. I just haven't put them out.
okay.
Just from being attacked in November, and
Oh, that burned my
I
butt
just
so
haven't
bad.
been. Well, I was sick, so I had skin cancer. Long story short, they did radiation. Long story short, it destroyed my thyroid, and I was in bed for almost a month. And so I was too weak to get up and do anything. So otherwise, I probably would have. But I mean, as
I'm
it is
so
now,
sorry.
I'm just like, what I need to focus, because I could keep putting this out and then people drive around and look for things, but they're looking for what they saw in their mind when they heard what I said, rather than what
Yeah,
I see, what the spirit people showed me.
that
So
is
really it
pertinent.
needs to be me going and doing that.
Right.
That's
I get it. Are you feeling better right now, Donna? How are you
I'm
feeling right
getting
now?
better. You can tell my voice is still a little rough,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's a
I'm
little more quiet, but I'm just so grateful that you look good. Like you still look like yourself, and
Yeah, what's interesting is people laugh at energy healing, but I was feeling like crap.
yeah.
And then I went to a church and I received an energy healing, and I felt significantly better right
Good.
afterwards, and even the next day and all week. Like, it took me up a level. I think, I'm certified in energy healing, but I really primarily like mediumship.
Okay.
But it worked. I'm going to go do it again.
Well, I'm
Got
so
more.
glad. Anything to make you feel better. You've been really going through it. My gosh.
I know.
And you had a surgery and everything. Like you've been dealing with it. Prayers to you, Donna. Gosh.
Yeah, so on the 3rd is when I started getting the Nogales thing.
Okay, so few days later.
2 days later in the readings, I'm getting Nogales and Eugalis.
And hey, wasn't it like within 3 days of that, the media started to report that there was some connection to Mexico?
At some point after I put that up, yeah.
I know. No, I know you were first. You're always first.
I know.
And you know who's in here is allegedly innocent. Where is she? Jules. Hi, Jules. Good to see you. Jules, is a witness of yours, Donna. She is a total skeptic like I was, and she witnessed you solve, I think, JJ and Tylee's murder, and then also with Suzanne Morphew. And she's in here right now. She does not believe in psychic ability except for you, but she's
Hi,
in here.
Jules.
Hi, Jules. Good to see you.
Yeah, because real psychic ability, anyone on YouTube could have a inclination. Like, everyone can develop psychic ability. You
Yeah.
really can, but the thing is, it doesn't happen every second. So if you have a commitment to constantly being on stream, people have a tendency to start making things up.
Right.
And things like, I've probably done 3,000 readings. I've never seen anyone, not a single one, be about soul contracts or
Yeah.
just some of these random things that pop spirituality has put out, and then everyone repeats them as if, like, I used to hold circles at my house all the time, and if I heard someone say something out of a book, like, so I would say, wait, stop, just stop, just be quiet yourself and see what you get from spirit.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like you're really authentic in what you do. You don't make some shit up like a lot of people do.
No,
A lot of
and
people will supplement.
I also ask to be shown what is, like,
Right.
rather than what should be or what we want.
Right.
Just show me what is, show me what is real,
Yeah. No, that's great. I'm just so glad that you've done something with this case, because this has to be the most perplexing case we've known of in quite a while, like at least 2 or 3 years, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, this is because they're so professional about it. So here on February 3rd, I'm seeing blood coming from her temple right now. I'm not saying where, just all of a sudden I saw her face and blood. That's what sometimes at the beginning, and this is before the porch thing came out. Oh, okay. No, they had blood drops on the porch. Anyways, especially since this isn't maybe new. So then I'm praying for them. Yeah, there's a lot in these things. A lot of them are prayer. I really wish I just left all the prayers in, and then if people didn't like it, that's too bad. I thought, oh, people don't want to hear that, but nowadays it might be just what they needed to hear.
Absolutely, I agree. Do you think Savannah knows more than she is letting on that you see on TV? Does she? So I could still hear the echo a little bit. It's not too bad. But do you think Savannah Guthrie knows more than the average person?
Um, I don't think she knows. I
Yeah.
think she has wondered, and I definitely think her husband has wondered about the pot. I mean, because, they know the FBI was writing, they were watching when she interviewed the victims. They wrote a whole letter to the other agency about it. And they didn't seem happy about it. They seemed like, oh, she's interviewing Virginia and they're going to air it on Dateline or something like that. And it's like, why is FBI trying to run cover for all this? And
Yeah,
what?
so-
That's who you're going to call when you have information? I did submit this, but, it's like I after the Charlie Kirk thing, it's hard to pretend.
Gotcha.
So here on the 3rd, I'm saying again about Ryan Ruth. It's so weird. I see the guy named Ryan Ruth who got sentenced for shooting Trump. I guess the guy looks like that. That's so weird because I got first, well, it's so close to Mexico, and then this other. But I see like a guy like that kind of just walking around looking okay. And the other night I did a reading. So it's like he appears constantly.
This Ryan Ruth caricature,
Yeah.
whatever he is. Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes me wonder if maybe could his name be Ryan? Could there be a Ruth in there? Could there be some similar lifestyle? Or didn't this Ryan Ruth guy go fight in Ukraine for a little while? Do you
I don't
remember
know
that?
if he fought, but he's just some whack job who
Yeah, he's nuts.
has had extreme views, and I think he was then groomed by whoever to go do what he did. And so could it be someone who kind of idolized whoever planned this? Could it be he's blonde hair?
Right.
Probably he is blonde hair, but I wonder because they could have showed me a lot of people. They showed me him. So I wonder about that grooming thing.
Okay, let me ask you a question real quick while we're on this trail. Have you seen the neighbor, a picture of the neighbor that I believe he got arrested? He got pulled over and arrested, Donna, of Nancy Guthrie's?
Is he blonde?
No, he looks Hispanic, possibly. Darker hair. Maybe he's not Hispanic. I don't know. Let me pull up a picture of him and maybe it'll jog
Okay.
your memory. Just a
Okay.
second. Stand by 1 second. Let's see. Because I don't know what it is about this guy, but I feel a little suspicious. I don't want to point fingers, but it is weird to me. He's the neighbor. His mother, I think, has lived in that neighborhood for a really long time, and he's had plenty of run-ins with the law, drug violations. When he was asked about being pulled over, he immediately said, "Oh, I assumed it was because of the Nancy Guthrie case." And it's like, who's going to assume that they're getting pulled over because of the Nancy Guthrie case? I'm sorry, your automatic assumption is going to be, okay, are my tags expired? Am I under the influence? Like, what's the deal? You're not going to assume
Yeah.
it's for the Nancy. I mean, I live in Arizona too. I would never assume it's for the Nancy Guthrie case if I got pulled over.
Was he the one who was drunk or something by there?
I'm not sure about that. Let me find this.
I'll be right
dude.
back. Okay, I got to do
Yeah.
something to the dog.
Yeah, great, no problem. Neighbor
Okay, watch out.
arrested. Is it this guy? XLA County worker arrested. I think that is the guy. Is it this guy? Let's see. Doesn't really look like him. Guys, what's a good way to search for that neighbor? It's not narrowing my search much. Anybody, can you think of what was his first name? I'm drawing a blank.
And several people have also sent me another neighbor that's blonde-haired that looks kind of like the Ryan Ruth guy. Did you know that?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I can look him up on my email. They keep emailing me this picture of this guy. But I'm not saying it's this guy or anything. I have no idea who it is. I'm just saying, yeah, it is interesting that he looks kind of like that.
And this guy is wearing like a vest in his interview. Guys, do you remember his name? Anybody, is it Luke Daly? Or is it somebody else?
Look at
Read
this
over
guy,
some?
Lauren.
Oh, geez. Donna, he does look like that Ryan Ruth dude.
But I'm not saying it's him at all.
Okay.
Someone sent me that and said, Donna, he looks like an older Ken doll. Oh, and he has a prominent job. But the blonde guy and the Ken doll are two separate people.
That's
here's
wild.
another picture of him. Let me see.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's that guy at all. I'm not saying that.
I know you're not, but I am
sending them to me.
Dang. That's wild.
I think he might be in there.
Soon thereafter, there was a response and outreach from law enforcement for access to ring video, access to properties. Everybody obviously very forthcoming, deeply.
So I have no idea who that is because I haven't watched all the coverage as much as I've meditated. I'll watch something here and there, but it's kind of annoying to me that they don't address the elephant in the room. So I'll watch for a few minutes. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Have you sent in any tips, Donna, this go round with this case or no?
I did, and yesterday I submitted them again, and I also shared them on the FBI Twitter, FBI Phoenix Twitter, and also put them on the FBI tip database, and I did for Pima County Sheriff as well. I put it on their database and on their Twitter.
That's good. I'm glad you are. I just feel like something could be helpful. I don't know. I mean, you've got a good track record.
If I'm correct, they would only get so far, and before they got a phone call that told them to stop. So, but they,
like
they
stand
might
down.
Yeah, they'll get assigned to something else or move to a different. But I don't know.
I know you got to kind of be careful with what you share. I get it completely. I know you feel that there's definitely something hinky going on. There's no doubt about it. I think everybody feels that. This is the weirdest psyop we've ever had. The weirdest, in my opinion.
Well, it's really weird to watch some of these people every single day, and they never even mention the fact that those emails were released that morning, and this happened that night.
The timing is crazy.
All the things, and they keep just bowing to TMZ. Why don't they ever talk about TMZ being in the Epstein files? Why don't they ever talk about Ashley Banfield being? Ashley Banfield is in that circle of people. I don't know if she eats children, but she's in that circle of people, and she was trying to go out with
Epstein, right?
Jeff Epstein. And so she was attracted to him. And how do you not know what those people are doing? And then
that's what I want to know.
She's the one who said her inside special source knows that Tomasino, is that his name? Tomaso or something?
The son-in-law, right?
Yeah, he's guilty or whatever. And then everyone started repeating it. I just lit the internet on fire because she claimed, and to me, it's like, if he turns out to be innocent, like he's not in my things, but that doesn't mean he's guilty or innocent. It just means he's not in my readings.
He's not mentioned. Okay.
If he turns out to be innocent, he should sue her. That is defamation of, and plus if he's a school teacher, like she just ruined his career.
Yeah, you're totally right about that.
And then she sits there every night, these ones, Nancy Grace, Brian Enton, her, and they sit there every night with maybe one piece of information, and they drag it out for an entire hour. It could have been said in 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. And they never address what's actually occurring.
So there's never been one mention of the files or anything?
Not related once. To Nancy Guthrie, not one that I've seen, not a single one.
Isn't that wild? Because to me, you're right. That
Nancy
is the elephant.
Grace is always on Fox, right? So, and who owns News Nation now? So
good question.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. Everyone likes Brian Enton. I'm not saying a bad thing about him. I'm just saying you're only ever going to get the official story from him, and it leads me to think that's not really an independent news channel. Like,
no,
he tries, hi, I'm the guy next door. Hey guys, please subscribe. Sure. News Nation paid for you to go for 3 years flying in hotels for the Idaho case, and then they're going to let you have all the big interviews without having a cut of your new channel. Sure, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, to me, it's almost infuriating because these are little children that are being killed, babies from toddlers and 5-year-olds, and not one of these people cares enough to talk about it.
No,
they care more about their career than to talk about something this important. And it's just, to me, it's complicity is silence is complicity, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. Uh, and the thing is this is a different level of disgusting. God, this. I'm sorry. This echo I'm hearing, it derails me so bad.
I know.
It's a different level of evil that we've ever heard than what we've ever heard about before.
Oh,
Because
it's
what?
infuriating. It's like,
Yeah.
we were running around for what, 2 years being infuriated about these college kids that got killed, but these people do it for fun. The people who are running our country and running our businesses and running our banks and running our Hollywood, and they do it for fun on a regular basis. They do it to little babies. They gloat about how good it tastes and how much they've eaten and with each other. And they've only released 2% of the emails. Thomas Massey says this is only 2%. And they blocked out the names of the predators.
I know that was absolute garbage. What's her name? You know who I'm talking about. That lady. Bondi, Pam Bondi. The fact that she's covering up for the criminals, but then she doesn't care about the victims one bit, it seems.
At all. She won't
Why-
even turn and look at
No
them.
mention.
She hates them. And she was covering up for them when she was Attorney General of Florida, which is why she was put in this position specifically to cover up for the billionaires that are running our planet.
Yeah. And the thing is we're in no way trying to make this bigger than it is. Like this is huge. This is the story, but then it's being covered by a whole case. I feel like right now.
Well, that's exactly what it's about.
Yeah.
And
It's a cover, a
I could see if
smokescreen.
Nancy Grace wanted to poo-poo that and say, there is a theory. We should just look at this. Oh, I don't believe it's true. But see, she won't even mention it. Because would Fox continue to have her on? Well, if she's worth over $40 million of total assets, does she care more about money? She claims she's always talking about what a Christian she is. Really, a Christian would look the other way when babies are being killed. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I know.
I'm not going to be nice about it. I'm not going to ignore it. There's a limit to what we can talk about on here, but
Right. No, there is.
these people that are in a position to really make a difference are more concerned about acquiring more millions of dollars. How many millions do you need to live comfortably, and how much do you want to go
Right.
to another party? Does Ashley want to give a blowjob to the next billionaire and eat some babies? Because that's what's going on.
Yeah.
They're eating babies,
No, I know.
toddlers,
It's
up to
disgusting.
age 5. They want soft meat. They call it cream cheese because it melts in your mouth. These people are sick, and they are running our government. Almost all the politicians, Democrat and Republican, almost all of them are on film doing this. Almost all of the bankers, the big bankers, everyone in Hollywood, your favorite movie stars, Leonardo DiCaprio, okay, your favorite self-help gurus, Deepak Chopra. These people are sick and disgusting. Everybody you ever looked up to.
Kardashians.
And the point is that you should spend some time reading them. You should go over on X where people are allowed to publish them, because you will exit the matrix. You will never again feel like you need some piece of clothing put on by some of these scumbags who are eating babies. You will never feel like you need to do anything to fit into their idea of what's good and what should give you some self-esteem from something external. That's
such a good
how
point.
serious this is. And Nancy Grace sits every night with one little piece of information and drags it for an hour and never mentions what's going on. And Brian Etten, yesterday he goes, I have an inside source who told me there's no assault in the house. And it's like, oh, yes, there was. And also, he only repeats that once, and then for the whole hour he's standing outside her house, which is fine. That was interesting. I actually watched it because I wanted to see what kind of feelings I got. But okay, when I was a teenager, I was involved in a very high-profile case that was in the newspapers for well over a year. I'll maybe talk about it some other time in my life, but suffice to say, I learned at age 16 that the mainstream media just lies to tell stories. And they also take things and they rearrange them. And I mean, I learned because people would save these newspaper articles and give them to me, and I'm like, that didn't even happen. But they don't care. And even on the And then, you know, Ashley Bansfield, every time she talks, she touts the fact that she says, I have inside sources because I've been doing this 20 years and I've built up all these great inside sources, you know, when she blamed the son-in-law. But do you know, in the biggest Idaho 4 student murders case that she was covering, and she was putting the girls who ran the group on that case.
I remember.
She was giving them coverage, so they didn't have any motivation to do anything but support her. People were making fun of her in that group because she would go through to get the rumors.
I remember that.
And she would report them as facts, and she didn't care if they were proven wrong the next day as long as she got the numbers.
Right.
That's mainstream media. That's how they work. So if you go, oh, if it was true, it'd be on mainstream media. No, if it was true, it'd probably be more likely to be reported by a YouTuber who doesn't have a big stake in lying to you. I mean, that's just the truth of it.
And like with somebody like Ashley Banfield, she doesn't have to verify this info. Some leaker or whatever she says, whoever she says gives her the
source,
info.
her
She could,
source,
yeah, her source
her
could just tell her.
source.
And she can make a bunch of shit up. And don't think, don't
She
think
was
they're
repeating
not.
stuff out of the group that was just gossip, and she was repeating it on News Nation Now, and then when she made her own channel. And I'm not saying I don't like her. I don't have any problem with her at all, other than like, okay, so on the JJ and that case, JJ and Tylee, when that case came up, right? She started putting the Mormon podcasters that suddenly appeared. Well-funded Mormon podcasters that suddenly appeared with full production companies behind them, and within a week they were all on these channels, mainstream channels.
Right.
It's all fake. And that's to cover up that in the Mormon church, those temples are Freemasonry. That's what they are. But so that's how it works, and that's what she was doing. And it was just appalling to me at that time, and it's only gotten more appalling the more that I see. And then when I saw her name in the files, I was like, what? Oh my God.
And she was mentioned how many times, Donna? At least a couple?
I
Or a
didn't,
few?
I only, like, I looked her up for some reason, and I didn't go, because, like, there'll be pages of things, and I just screenshotted one, like, okay, there she is. Look up TMZ. There they are. You know, TMZ is the shill for PSYOPs.
Right. And then, of course, they get the ransom letter twice or 3 times, whatever it was.
And all the other media, all the other mainstream media is playing up to it, going, yeah, TMZ this, because those companies are owned by the same people who are doing this activities. Okay, and then when you take, like, say, Atlantic Magazine, it's supposed to be all well respected. Well, she's Chum, the lady who owns it. She's a big chum of Ghislaine Maxwell, who's Jeffrey Epstein's partner.
Yeah.
So you have, and so she's put out a couple articles going, don't bother looking into Jeffrey Epstein. It's just a conspiracy by wingnuts or whatever, you know. And that's what's going on. You're being lied to.
Well, you
Everything
know what I had
that they have set up around you, everything you believe in, your history, what you should be wearing, what you should be, everything's a big lie.
It is.
You know?
It is. You know what I had a big problem with, Donna, was when I think it was Trump moved Ghislaine Maxwell to a different, like a minimum security facility within the whole Bureau of Prisons. And it was, the timing was just too much to ignore. It was like right after she comes out and says, oh, Mr. Trump never, he was never, nothing but a gentleman to me, like that kind of a thing, that kind of interview, I guess you could say. And then all of a sudden she's getting moved to this minimum security. It's like this,
Place.
Cushy, amazing place to be within the Bureau of Prisons. And I'm like, that wasn't obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, could you be more obvious?
Well, Trump was like, they say he hung around with Jeffrey Epstein for about 15 years. I mean, what I believe is that Israel has something on Trump, and they're controlling him. Like the very first time that Netanyahu went to the White House, there was a 180-degree turn in his persona, in his composure. He looked nervous, and from then on, he started doing whatever Netanyahu said. Yeah, and I really think they have him
wild,
compromised.
And that's so sad, but yeah, it's so possible. You're right. It's completely possible. And then this whole
Someone
Iran
mentioned
thing.
that I hate Mormons. I want to clear that up. I don't hate
No.
Mormons in the slightest bit.
No, you have a lot of Mormon friends too, I think.
Oh yeah, I made a lot of Mormon
Yeah.
friends. They really helped me through that JJ
They're great
case.
people.
And this is the thing. Okay, this is what evil always does. In the Mormon temples, that's Freemasonry. They have a left-hand path and a right-hand path. There are really good ones that never even know about the left-hand path, but they have an outer ring, and this is always done where evil lurks. And in the outer ring are all these clean living Mormons, right? And nice people, really gracious people. And then they start going to the temple, and then they take them up the route of Freemasonry. And to say the truth is not about hate. I don't hate them in the slightest bit, not at all. But truth is truth. And I've interviewed on my channel, I've interviewed people that were former Mormons that know about this, and even Chad Daybell's friend. He said the left-hand path people are heavy in presence in that area where Chad Daybell came from in Utah. So I want to clear that up. I do not hate Mormons. Telling the truth
Neither do I.
about those temples being Freemasonry is not hatred. It's just truth.
Well, I feel like the Mormon church is very compartmentalized anyway, because you've got the real top of the top that has their own thing going on versus the people who go, to the temple on Sundays. It's just a different
yeah.
experience completely.
Yeah, there's people that don't even know there's basements where they do human sacrifices. So what they do, one, they provide a lot of the people to the CIA for the MK Ultra, but they also, what they do is they blame the girls for being molested. So if a father's molesting their daughter, the brothers are molesting, and they blame the girl. And then they go to the family and say, we're going to take your little girl away and we're going to give her up for adoption, or you could go to prison. So the family says, okay, well, since she's too much of a temptation for the man, we're going to take her away, but the family never sees her again, and she's taken to the bottom of the temple and used for a blood sacrifice. That's what's occurring.
Oh,
and if people don't like it, that's just too bad. That's what's occurring. That's called truth.
Yeah. Some people can't handle the truth, though.
According to people who've been there. Not according to me making it up or even doing a reading. You can go over on my channel, and I interviewed a lady that she helps people adjust after leaving the Mormon church.
I'm sure it's a lot.
I'm going to have to put one of my dogs away because they're wrestling right by my table.
Yeah, no problem. While you're doing that, I'll say hi. Hi, guys. How are you? Thank you so much for being here and for participating in this discussion with us through the comments. I know it's been a really long time since I've been on, since Donna's been on. We've both been having our own stuff that we've been dealing with, tending to. She's had some health complications. I've actually started some businesses. I've been following this Nancy Guthrie case quite a bit. Just haven't reported on it because I haven't felt that there was anything I could really contribute to it that you haven't heard. But Donna here has a different feel because she has a different connection, right? She can psychically connect to it. And as crazy as that could sound to a lot of people, don't underestimate it. She really is amazing at what she does and always has her finger on the pulse of what's going on in these cases. So I felt like today was fitting to bring her on, at least talk about it, get her sense of what's going on, and go from there. I just hope that somehow, some way, someday, there is some sort of a resolution with the case. But it's like when you have the top echelon of society potentially covering a case, are you ever going to know what's going on? It's kind of like with the Summer Wells thing. You've got very rich people suppressing the story. And this is another example of it, I think. Don, I was just telling him how you've got these ultra rich people, these that are the movers and shakers of our society that are suppressing this story, the real story here with Nancy Guthrie, I believe. What really happened, and will we ever know what really happened? Probably not. What do you
they're
think?
conspiring together. Did I start echoing more because I took my earphones out?
I don't feel so, but let's see.
Okay, just let me know if I echo.
No, I think you sound the same, Donna.
But I think a lot of people have a gut instinct about this, that something's not right. Like over on the X platform, everyone was over there just saying, this is such BS. They expect us to buy this. And believe this, but there's a limit to what you can say on different platforms. Each platform, like all I did was share 21 screenshots. I didn't even comment on them. I just said, here's some screenshots in my Facebook group, and they almost took away my whole account.
Jeez.
Yeah, and they froze me for a few days, and then they made me do facial recognition to even get my account, and then they deactivated a bunch of my pages. And,
Wow. Because you
yeah.
spoke out against the story, the truth that you saw?
I didn't even speak out. I just said, here's
Just
some
pictures.
screenshots of Jeffrey Epstein emails. If you guys want to see them, that's all I said. That's all.
Nuts. That's nuts.
Just for that, they literally almost took me down. So
Dang.
Facebook is like the worst for truth.
Yeah.
You go over there and you have an altered view of reality. They want you to think certain things are normal that are not. And they want you to think, oh, it must just be me thinking something's wrong. Maybe I should take antidepressants. No, maybe they should stop spraying the sky with aluminum, and then you wouldn't feel depressed. You know, so.
Right. They contribute a lot of problems, I would say. And they're being sued. Facebook is being sued right now, or at least it happened a few days ago, didn't it? Have you been following that?
Yeah, they're being sued, but what they want to do is they're like, oh, we need to keep children safe, so we need to do age verification, which means they want ID for children.
That's not going to do anything.
What they really want is everyone's ID.
Yeah.
So that in the future, as they put their Orwellian surveillance state in, which they're trying to do, that's what they really want. They don't care about people's safety.
Well, I think they've already gotten us to willingly give away our location, what we're doing, who we're hanging out with, showing pictures of our lives. It's the biggest CIA database there is, Facebook.
It is. And I think it was originally funded by a funding company called InQtel. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's called INQTEL.
Okay.
It's real. It's not a conspiracy theory. You can just look it up on the internet. That's who funds things for the CIA. And when Mark Zuckerberg was in college, he was an intern at the CIA. And I don't think you actually ever really leave. So, yeah, that's what it was. They got everyone to register themselves. That's what it was. And they wanted to make sure who I was, since gosh, I'm aware enough to actually look into these Epstein files.
Yeah.
Like, Facebook just fritzed out. They're like, okay, well, you can save your account, but you're going to be like locked down for however many days. And then now, like, there was like 400 or 500 comments on a lot of my posts in my group, and now there's like 5 comments. So nobody's seen my group. So
That's
it's
weird.
technically still there, but shadow bound, and they deactivated it. So I think I can go back in and activate those pages, but it's just to mess with me.
Of course.
You know?
Yes. Sorry, I'm about to lose my battery on this computer. Let me plug in. Okay, that's better. Am I echoing, guys, or do I sound okay? Is it okay? Also, I want to say hi to Willow, if she's still in here. I saw her pop up somewhere around here. Good to see you, Willow, and hello to everybody I haven't said hi to. Thank you so much for being here today. Donna, I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad to get to talk to you and have this conversation. I'm sorry with all the stuff you've been dealing with. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm on the mend. I'm feeling a little better every day.
Yeah.
So,
do you want to get into your thoughts about the family? You feel like the family is totally blameless in this, or what?
Of Nancy Guthrie?
Yes.
I would just say he does not appear in any of my readings.
Okay. So you feel confident that he is not it. He's not the main person, the perp. In your opinion.
It was like a special operation.
Right.
It was a mercenary thing. And do you know what's really weird? Is if you look at the date when I put up some video about the potential Puerto Vallarta connection, because there's some PI, I guess a lot of people hate him and some people like him, but he's named Steve the PI.
Oh, yeah, on Twitter, right? On X?
Yeah, and I saw that he had written something about a flight that left Tucson at 4:45 a.m. that went to Puerto Vallarta. And I was like, Puerto Vallarta, that's in my readings. And I ran back, and it was like, within 2 or 3 days, I'm like, who's meeting in Puerto Vallarta, you know?
Yeah.
And then I wrote also the person they're going to meet's more important than the person going there. And then I see this. And so I put up a video like, and then right then too, that week, Trump was interviewed on his airplane or whatever at the door of his airplane. And they asked him if there was going to be arrest. And he goes, well, we're going to do something. We've got some leads. And they're like, well, are you going to arrest someone? And he's like, well, we're going to do something. And then it was about 4 days later.
I remember this. I remember this.
Yeah, it was about 4 days later, El Mencho's killed.
Yes.
And then Puerto Vallarta explodes. And then I'm like, oh my God. And then it comes out that like they found some field where this is apparently what these cartels do is they incinerate people so there's no DNA.
Oh,
and there was like 1,000 pairs of shoes in some big incinerator thing where they had multiple incinerators running, and kids' shoes, women's shoes, just, I think those might have been people that paid to be transported up to the border, and maybe they were raped or killed, whatever happened to them. But, and so, and then it also came out that El Mencho had a couple hundred blackmail videos of U.S. politicians and business people as well, similar to Jeffrey Epstein. So he had his kind of whole thing going on too.
He had
and
stuff
I'm like,
on people.
could it be? Could it be? But I didn't do any readings about it. I'm like, okay, this is the red line for me. This is whatever this is so big, you know, that it's not safe for me. And there's no, you know, some people are above the law. They really are.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah. They completely are.
Sports team owners above the law.
Yep. I want to tell you a quick story. You had put out this reading, I want to say it was maybe a month ago. It was just before this Iran thing kicked off. And I was in my garage doing some like merchandising I've been dealing with. And I'm listening to your reading and I'm like, oh, it's interesting. You know, it's about all sorts of stuff. I think you even mentioned like the wild alien activity. I think that was the reading.
Yeah.
What is it called again, Donna, for people who want to look it up? What was it called?
It's called What's Next.
What's Next? Okay.
It says What's Next, and it has the sword through the earth and then the lamb hanging off the sword. And it says What's Next, and there's a picture of an alien.
So what blew my mind about this was I'm listening to it. I believe it was on a Friday night. The next morning I wake up. And by the way, in that reading, you're mentioning, I think, Mexico, you're mentioning Iran, you're mentioning everything that ends up becoming something like the next day.
That was like a 3-hour reading.
I was tripping out. I was telling my husband, I'm like, Donna was right again. Like everything you talked about in that, I feel like became very pertinent in the coming weeks and like the following 2 weeks.
It did, because I think it was
crazy.
within a day or two where Trump was going, we're going to declassify all these UAPs and UFOs or whatever. We're going to declassify the aliens. And it was like right after I put that up. And then they also showed me the USS Gerald Ford ship, which I didn't even know if there was one. Like first they showed me Gerald Ford, the president, and then they showed me a big battleship. So in the reading, I'm going, if maybe there's a US Gerald Ford ship, something's going to happen. And then within a week, it was in the news that there was like pretty much a mutiny on there because they had kept everyone on there so long. So they were like stuffing mops down the toilets, and they finally started it on fire. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. No.
They started the USS Ford on fire because they want off. They've been on there like 11 months or something. And then they want them to go fight a war when they're all going stir crazy. And so now it had to be taken to Cyprus, and it's in the docks in Cyprus to try to repair it.
It's so wild to me, the things that you pick up on that later become really important in the news, like with the whole El Mencho thing. I think that was before the El Mencho thing popped off too, wasn't it?
Well, I put up a thing about the Puerto Vallarta connection about 4 days before El Mencho popped off.
Dang. I feel like that's how you are, though.
And going, it's not above my abilities. It's above, what are you going to do with it anyways, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's above my understanding. It's so deep. Oh my God.
I don't want to make enemies of anybody.
No, I get it.
On that level.
I completely get it. So this guy, okay, back to Nancy Guthrie. On the porch, the guy that you see on camera, what was your impression when you saw that video, Donna? Did you have any feels about it?
My first impression was that it was a female that was wearing like 3 sets of clothes.
You really thought it was a female? Wow.
That was my very first impression, although it might be
Okay.
wrong. My other impression was before that, in one of my readings, I was shown that one of the people was wearing a different kind of mask underneath the mask, right? So say for only $10, you can go on Temu now and buy really intricate latex masks.
Okay.
You can also buy the sock masks that have like a picture of a face. And so I was saying, don't get too caught up in the facial characteristics. Well, when some people take screenshots, one of the times the eyebrow, I mean, it looks like the eye doesn't even start till halfway in the eyebrow. And nobody's eye starts right here because they're wearing, I think they're wearing a latex mask under there. And they're also wearing like multiple pairs of clothing and probably more gloves underneath the gloves that are shown. I mean, they're definitely, see, I think what they want the general public to think this is just some local goon, right?
Right.
Oh, what a dummy. He rips up a plant to try to block the thing. Really, he has a backpack on. You think he doesn't have a screwdriver to walk up and pop that off?
Yeah.
You know, come on. That to me is a setup. That is
The
somebody,
eyes.
yeah, close in on that eye and see this ridge of plastic or whatever on the eye closest to his hand. Like zoom in on that. Is that as far as you can zoom in?
That's as far as it's letting me. Let me see if I can get better images. That is so wild. Hold on a second.
So we're supposed to think he's a burglar without a screwdriver to walk up and pop that off?
No kidding.
Or like I thought, okay, put myself in the mind of someone who does this kind of thing. What would I do? Oh, well, in less than 60 seconds, I figured I would go to Office Depot and buy some name tag stickers and slap them on any of those that I saw. So they couldn't kill 'em.
Right. That makes the most sense is you cover it up.
Yeah, and these and typical, tweakers or types of people that do this stuff they think of that kind of stuff all the time. So
Yes.
this whole thing about some guy going there and carrying this off and picking up bushes, I think that whole thing is a red herring.
It probably is. And why would you pick up the bush, the garbage that's out? You know what I mean? This foliage
let me
outside
pick
the
up
house.
a bush and wave it in front of here because there's nothing in my backpack that will deal with this. Right. Sure.
Yeah, no, it's so sketchy. It's so weird. It's bizarre. As I zoom in, I'm just going, what is up with this? This whole situation is nuts. And honestly, I'm surprised that Ring Doorbell, I think it was Ring, right, that was able to retrieve this footage, because if she wasn't a paying subscriber, I thought they just kind of got rid of that stuff. They just tape over it or whatever. So I was shocked that they still had this. Look at this, Donna.
Well, you know what? I'm not surprised because everything is spying on us. And
The eyes
when you
in the
watch
sky.
these cases where the FBI is involved in providing information, you see that they get into everything. They get into people's DNA tests. They get into people's ring cams.
Right.
I mean, we're being spied on.
All the time. Let me see if I can show that a little better.
There is a Fourth Amendment, and there's a reason for the Fourth Amendment. Like right now, it doesn't seem to matter because they haven't put the clamp down. But once they take away the dollar, then they'll do what they do in China, which is control your every move.
Yeah, with that social credit scoring you're talking about, Donna?
Yeah, and right now in Oregon, they're making it illegal to grow your own chickens.
Wait, in what
They
state did
want
you
to
say?
stop
Colorado?
people from being able to grow their own food, so they're subjected to the poison at the grocery store. I mean, I'm not
And
being
it is.
extreme when I tell you guys this is
No, I
coming.
know.
This is coming.
The control is unreal. Yeah. And it's coming at us from every direction. Like, it's hard to ignore that we're being poisoned through our food supply. We're being poisoned through our environment, through Roundup, through the chemtrails. You can't ignore this stuff any longer. And then you hear about these extremely elite, these super rich people that are, for sport, doing what they're doing with babies.
And Bill Gates is writing to Epstein, how can we get rid of the poor people?
Right.
And they're plotted 3 years ahead of time. They were plotting that COVID thing.
Oh, I believe it.
I mean, the end game is to get rid of 95% of the population. That's not a conspiracy theory. It's right on their books.
No, it is.
You
It's
can go
part of-
on the World Economic Forum website and download Klaus Schwab's book for free. It's not a conspiracy. They don't even hide it. They just know that most people are so busy eating potato chips they don't bother to see what's coming.
Isn't that part of Agenda 21, Donna? Was it called Agenda
Yeah.
21? I can't remember.
Yeah, now they call it Agenda 2030. So,
Okay.
like in Finland, they're forcing farmers to kill the bees, but the bees are who pollinates the food.
Right.
They're creating food shortages on purpose, and they got to put
Totally.
things and collapse things to a point where you beg them for the answer. You
Yep.
say, "Oh, okay, help me, help me."
Yep.
That's what they're doing right now.
Oh, completely. And somebody's saying here it was on the Georgia Guidestones. Good point, Blue Muse. I'm sure you know about the Georgia Guidestones, right, Donna?
Yeah, some good
It's insane.
patriot went and blew them up.
I know.
That's one reading I won't do.
I wish you would.
No, because I would never put out somebody who is that patriotic to the human race.
Oh, for sure. No, I get that. Yeah. No, they should
I'm
be
on the
protected
side of
at
humans.
this rate. Yeah.
I'm on the side of humans and freedom is what
I
side
know,
I'm
and here's
on.
the thing, Donna, like what is AI gonna do for our future? Like our
It's
kids,
going to
are
take
they
all
gonna
the jobs.
Of course.
They call
so
everyone
scary.
useless eaters.
I know.
They don't need 90% of the people.
Yeah.
And they're making their moves. And everyone's so sedated by the aluminum we're being sprayed with.
And the internet. It
So
pacifies us.
aluminum fluoride is a byproduct of aluminum waste, and they were giving the dirty water to the people in the prison of war camps in 1945 and realizing how sedated it made them. There's absolutely no reason to be putting it in our water supply at all.
Of course not.
It's a
Of course
byproduct
not.
of aluminum waste, and it calcifies your pineal glands. Oh, and then there's like Bill Gates sitting there on some video. So there's an actual video of Bill Gates giving a presentation to the CIA about how to make people less spiritual.
Oh, well, yeah, block their pineal gland. Of
Yeah.
course. Wow. It's a wild world, isn't it, there, Donna? Oh my God.
It is real interesting to be alive during this time because we
It
are
is.
really seeing like
So many
some people
changes.
that video you referred to, the what's coming next or whatever. There's a bunch of people who watch me who are really like they know their Bible verses, and they were telling me which verses, like what you're saying is right from this book
Connects.
of Daniel. Like I'm gonna go read the book of Daniel. It sounds like it's full
And
of prophecy.
Revelation, yeah.
Yeah, and Revelations.
Oh, it's fascinating.
Read Revelations 13.
Oh,
Everyone,
gosh.
read it.
And do you feel that the mark of the beast is coming? The chip, the can't
Oh,
buy or
yeah.
sell. I
The
mean, it
brain
seems
chip.
like in the next 10 years for sure.
It's here, and what they have to do is crash us to the point where we have no food and where we beg for the answer, where we beg and we accept anything, right?
Yeah.
So that's part of what's putting all these illegals in here is to, like I
Crash
was
our
in
culture.
Walmart a couple weeks ago. I'm not even going to go that part of town anymore. I was in Walmart a couple of weeks ago, and I was almost done. I'd spent like an hour. I'd bought all these little things, you know, stuff where if things collapse, you know, the eye drops for the dog and stuff like that.
Right.
And I come back, and there's some guy, clearly an illegal, and he's throwing all my stuff out of my cart. But there's a lot of stuff. Sometimes
Really?
people do that when there's one thing. There's a bunch, and all I did, I wasn't gone long. I just walked over to pick up some dish stuff. And I said, "What are you doing?" You know, and he was just saying, "Fuck you, you're evil," and just all kinds of weird stuff. And
That's
I took
nutty.
his box out, and then he picked one of mine up and he threw it. Right. I go, "I can't fight with you. I just had surgery on my throat." So this is like a week after surgery.
Whoa.
And he's throwing my boxes at my throat.
What did you do, Donna?
I
Did you
just
fight
started
back?
screaming for help, and some workers came
That's
over.
wild.
They were all women, and he was saying how evil I was, and I needed to go to jail. And
For what? What did you
and
do?
then he was
That's
saying,
weird.
she was saying, "You need to leave." The manager was telling him he needed to leave, and he was saying that he's clean, he's not dirty. And then he goes, "Okay, well, I'll leave, but I need her cart."
What?
Yeah, he was mentally ill, clearly.
Yeah,
And you know
clearly.
what? When I went home, I actually felt more disappointed with my own government than I did with this nut job.
Yeah.
You know,
That they
our
ushered
government has
millions
let
in.
us down. They've let us
Yeah.
down.
No, they have. And they've destroyed our borders, our culture. It's like it makes up the perfect setting to take us by force and to get the whole global government idea. I know it sounds crazy to some people, but it's here, guys.
Oh,
This
it's
is
not
the
crazy.
future. No,
We're
it's the
almost
future.
40 trillion in debt,
Yeah.
and all they have to do is collapse the dollar, and within 2-3 weeks, people will be begging for the answer, which will be a digital ID and a digital dollar. And once they have that, they can control your every move. And if you think, oh, no big deal, I'm not doing anything, well, what if they tell you that now you have to eat lab-grown meat, which is poison, and you have to be in a 15-minute city, and you're not allowed to travel, and you're not allowed to visit your relatives? I mean, that's what's going on in China already. Oh, and if that's not enough, they just take people off the street and take their organs.
That's so wild.
So that's what we're looking at. And if people don't rise up and stop it, but people feel helpless and they're very sedated by all the chemicals being sprayed. More and more chemicals, if you notice, more and more chemicals. Always the sky is just being sprayed with them.
See, I think we're being sedated a lot by the internet, though, too. We're being pacified by it. It's become like a nurture. It's become the mom, the dad, the best friend. It's taken the place of our family, our friends. You know what I'm saying? Like our phones have. They've really replaced the human connection for so many people. And so I think it's a bunch of different ways they're taking us by force.
Yeah, not just one way. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I even feel addicted to it. It's like, oh,
Oh,
here,
we
let me
all
check
are.
to see if someone wrote to me or whatever.
Yeah,
And then I make
we all
fun
are.
of the teenagers, but I'm one of them.
Oh, we all do it, Don. It's not just you. It's everybody. My mom does it, and she is always talking crap about it. And I'm like, hey, you're doing it too, Mom. We're all guilty. We're all
Well,
here
it's,
and now
it's
doing it.
addicting. You get this
It is.
instant movement, instant gratification.
Yeah, well, it's the desire to feel connected, to know what's going on, and so it's like, even if you don't mean to do it, you're gonna automatically pick up and unlock the phone and see what's going on. It's
Yeah.
part of what we do now.
And even if you like go to the doctor, nobody talks anymore because they're
No,
all
they don't.
staring at their stuff. Or even the park,
Yeah.
you see these. I always thought it was weird to see these young mothers pushing their babies in strollers and
Mm-hmm.
never looking at their babies. They'll walk right in front of your car pushing a baby, looking at their screen and never looking away.
I
But then
know.
here I am. Oh,
I
before
know.
I go to sleep, I need to check my thing.
We all
you
do
know?
it. Yeah, I completely
So-
agree. You know what? I notice as I get older, I like watching older movies now because it connects me to a time and place when the world was much simpler. Do you do that too? Do a lot of people in this chat do that? I love watching older movies now because they take me back to the time when everybody was connected with people and not just technology.
I'm going to try that, because it's like I think
It
about the
helps.
80s.
Yes.
And,
Best era
we
for-
always had a group of friends. And,
Right.
sometimes someone has a bad streak of luck and they need to be on our couch for 2 or 3 weeks, but everyone helped each other. Someone's car breaks down, they go help. Now it's like, can you help me? My car broke down. Oh, yeah, take an Uber.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about each other anymore.
No, they really don't.
It's very sad. You know what, Don, on a side note, people are saying we're echoing again, which I don't understand. And then another person came in here and said, I can't believe you guys are still talking with your echo. It's like, well, it's not echoing when I hear you. So
Well, come over here and fix it.
I wish somebody
We need a
would.
technical person. This is why I don't go on the internet very much. I would be on here almost every day if I could
Yes.
just set this up and walk in and flip a switch.
Me too.
But I can't deal with it. It's like
No.
I get so stressed out by the time I make it work that I'm
Yes.
like, I can't even think of like doing psychic readings on the internet when I can't make the internet
No,
work.
it's always the technical stuff. It drives me crazy. Hey, people are saying
this
I love
person-
what?
Go ahead. Oh, she just said, do you think we're at risk from swarms of Chinese drones? Yeah, I did a reading years ago, and if I find it, I'll put it up. But I'm like, this woman was thinking that this guy at her work was a Chinese spy. And I'm like, okay, they're showing me this water tower in Spokane. And she goes, he used to live in Spokane. And I'm like, yeah. And then he's on a farm in Kansas, but the grain stack is actually really a surveillance room. And yeah,
Oh, wow.
I think, yeah, who in the government was allowing the sale of all this farmland to Chinese people?
I know.
Just at all. That's our farmland. But in addition to right next to military bases. I mean, we've
Yeah.
been sold out by our own government. Is what we.
For,
Yeah, and I
like,
do think they'll have
lots of
drone
times.
swarms. They showed them to me in that movie.
Yeah.
Of course, Iran's doing them at Israel, but yeah, I think they're already here for sure. I think they're already here and they're in farm buildings, barns.
I'm
and
sure
stuff.
you're right. Now, okay, I have a question since we're kind of talking geopolitical type stuff. Do you think this whole Iran thing, is it going to lead us into the big, big war? Do you feel that way? Or is this just going to be a, what do you call those? What do they call those? Like there's a word for them. Not a disagreement. Like an event that happens and then they make nice and everybody.
Uh-oh, you went off. Your microphone is turned off. Your microphone's turned off. The light on your microphone went out. Your microphone went off. Okay, so I'll answer her question. Well, on February of 2022, I did a reading about World War III, and yeah, she'll get it back on. I think we're headed there. I think we're headed there into that. And remember that pivotal point. I still think that that's going to happen. I think most of the things in that reading have come true. And if you see, like, the big thing will be, it will be an accidental missile strike, probably into France or England or something, but it will be accidental.
Accidental.
And it's
Do you
going to
think
go
it's
nuclear right
accidental
after
or
that.
really accidental?
Yeah. And I just, to me, this thing in Iran makes me sick. And why did Israel give the things for us to send a missile right onto school girls, little kids? You know, in war, you're still supposed to avoid civilian populations. I'm sorry, but I think Trump went crazy. I think he's not in his right mind at this point.
That's what I kind of feel too, Donna. Yeah.
It's so
Can
I
you hear
can
me?
bring up Revelations 13. Have you ever read it?
Say it and I'll tell you if I've read it.
Revelations chapter 13.
Okay. Go
Do you
ahead.
want me to grab it?
Yeah, please.
I'll be right back.
I'd love to. Yeah. Can you guys hear me? Am I echoing again? Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know why this is happening.
I know. Well, that's good, because then we won't get in trouble for saying all this stuff. It's too. The AI will go. There's too much echoes. we can't.
I know.
Okay, let me see.
And somebody's saying, please stop blaming Trump. We're not blaming Trump. We're not against Trump. We're just.
No, I had high
Taking it for
hopes.
what it
Everything
is.
he ran on was really great, but the first time that Netanyahu visited him, he looked completely different. And this is again facts. You know, I have high hopes. I care about our country. I want everything to work good. Okay, so this is Revelations chapter 13. Do you want me to read it?
Please.
It'll blow your mind.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. Now the beast which I saw was like a leopard, and his feet were like the feet of a bear, and his mouth like the mouth of a lion. The dragon gave him power, his throat. So the dragon, I think, is the devil. And great authority. And I saw one of his heads. Listen to this, Lauren. This is the key thing. This is verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound had healed. And all the world marveled and followed the beast. So they worshiped the dragon who gave authority to the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" Do you get that? He got shot in the head, and then he survived, and everyone was amazed. Oh, your sound went off again. Your sound went off. So no, I don't hate Trump. I'll be honest. I voted for him for everything he was running on. But he's turned to 180 as soon as Netanyahu ran into the house. That Netanyahu is a psychopath. He's an actual psychopath. He's worse than Hitler. We just watched him murder almost 1 million people, and then we turn around and go into an unprovoked war, bombing civilians. There's no world where this is okay. No, you're like, we can't hear you. Okay. Yeah, everything changed. Hey, Ziggy, how are you doing? She's put up with a lot. Poor Ziggy. In the last few years, this is ridiculous what goes on here. Let me see if there's more in this. There was a 10-inch, let me see, was it 7? The numbers? Because I thought it was like the G7 and the G20 in here, in this chapter too. And he was given a mouth speaking, as soon as your voice works, then I'll stop. As he was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and he was given authority to continue for 42 months. So maybe 6 months before the end of his term, he's going to be. In that reading I did, they showed me him walking away. So they didn't show me him dying. They showed me him walking away and the vice president taking power. But the vice president was essentially put in there by Palantir, which is the spy agency. So the spy company or whatever that helped build Gaza. Okay, let's see. He opened his mouth in blasphemy against God. You know what? I care about God. I really do. Some people think psychics are bad, and I say Jesus Christ was a psychic. I say everyone that wrote the Bible was a psychic. When you get down to it, it's words. And there's beauty in the Bible, and I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. But I just also can see, the power and control. Okay? Let's see. Oh, look, it even says, if anyone has an ear, let him hear. He who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He who kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. Then I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. There's 2 of them.
There's 2 of me. I'm twins.
Oh, you're back. Okay. Anyways,
Okay.
Revelations chapter 13 is all about somebody who gets shot in the head, has a head wound and survives, and all the world is in wonder.
Wow.
Just saying. And he turns out he's one of the Antichrist or beasts. And so what's happening now is, I'm going to admit it, I voted for Trump. I voted for what he ran on. I do not believe in children being mutilated ever for any reason. That's my red line. Mm-hmm. Watching somebody punch a woman and get a gold medal for a man punch a woman and get a gold medal for it. That's my red line in the sand.
That was mine too.
I will defend what I believe in, but what happened was you could tell the first time Netanyahu came to the White House and Trump was outside giving a speech or whatever, he looked nervous, he looked uncomfortable, and he looked stressed. And from then on, everything was different. And I do believe that they have something on him so serious that he's willing to do whatever they want. Unfortunately, our government is being run by Israel. Okay, that's the
You got to
bottom line.
think. You got to. Am I echoing, by the way?
No.
Okay. Does the audience think I am? I voted for him. Big mistake. F the government. Angie, I hear you. I hear you on that. I'll do it.
But you know, it wouldn't have mattered. You know why? Because Kamala, her sister was putting the parties together for Podesta, and you know what they do is the same thing that's in the Epstein files. Okay, so there's videos of it that circulate online of him. So that's pure evil either. It's pure evil. They've got our entire government. They are running our government. Over 95% of our politicians have minders, Israeli minders, that tell them what to do, say, and what to vote. Yeah. This is a fact. Okay, it's a fact. Our government has been infiltrated. That's a fact. So, yeah. So, I mean, I would say it was the only hope that things were going to change, but now he's got, he's like, no wars, no new wars. And then they just go and unprovoked start bombing little girls' school children. No, you don't kill children and think I'm going to support that.
I totally understand.
Bogey, I think that they don't want you, psychics because they might act like me. You
What
know,
do you mean by act like you?
tell the truth to people.
Exactly.
I mean, I used to love watching the Long Island Medium, Teresa Caputo and stuff like that. But basically, that's what the only psychics they promote are ones they own.
Mm.
You know, and then they wear glittery clothes and it's like an act. But guess what? All of you could do that if you want. If you wanted to spend the time to meditate every day and do exercises, breathing exercises, any one of you could enhance your psychic abilities. You could communicate with spirits, but they want you to think it's scary or a sin because they don't ever want you to know what they're really doing.
Yeah.
I'm a threat. People like me are a threat. That's why.
Oh, absolutely.
And they were a threat back in the Bible days. Yeah, I mean, if they had some psychic telling what's really going on, you know, but all the kings did have their own teams of psychics. They did. So
Well, and the military uses what are they called again? The
remote viewers.
remote viewers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they all
And
use them.
and they've been instrumental in helping with wars and stuff, right? And sort
Yeah.
of strategize and stuff.
And where like submarines are and where the hostages were being held in Iran many years ago. So when I was in junior high, I think is when I ran, it changed. Like we had someone in there we wanted. He was like called the Shah. I don't know if we put him in there.
I remember.
You know, so their society, they weren't forced to wear these burqas or whatever. And then there was a revolution that happened, I think, when I was in junior high.
I think in the 80s, right? Or wait,
they took
70s,
some
maybe?
hostages and they used the military remote viewers to find the hostages.
Mm. Oh, Donna, I'm so like reluctant to talk because I feel like I'm just echoing. Is everybody hearing me echo or am I better now? Anybody care to tell me? Am I still echoing? And by the way, if Ziggy's still in here, hi to Ziggy. I hope you're doing well, Ziggy.
I don't hear any echo.
See, and I haven't really heard much echo of you, Donna, but I hear myself echoing with you. Like you sound good, but I hear a little echo with myself.
They said it's not that bad.
Okay. Some people are like, oh, it's terrible.
I don't know if you guys
I can't
like
believe
me
you're
talking.
still on here. And then,
Do you guys want me not to talk like this? Because then we should end these at 60 minutes because I always know the longer they go on, the less filtered I get.
hey, the more, yes, uncensored we become.
That's what we should call it,
God.
uncensored.
That we
Lauren
should.
Live Uncensored.
Uncensored conversations. And you know, people need uncensored, just real deal talk.
Yeah, if
'Cause
you
we've
want to
kinda
know
lost
what's
that
really
too.
going on, because there's, you know.
Right. Oh, we're sick of being led, you know, to our, I guess, to our slaughter eventually. It's just like being fed BS all the time.
Mm-hmm.
With
Well,
the
and I
propaganda
feel like I was
machine.
lied to my whole life. Like, we're given this idea that the whole purpose of life is to acquire all these things, to gain success as they determine success to be, the people who are eating our children. It's
Yeah.
like, no more, no more. The one good thing about going over there and learning about it is it'll break you free really fast. You'll probably cry,
Right.
but you'll break free of the confines of the matrix, that's for sure.
Right. We work so hard to financially improve and to become something. And at the end of it, it's like, does it really matter? What matters is who's there with you on your deathbed. Like,
Right.
what life did you lead and what imprint did you make on on the people that you love?
Exactly.
That's what matters.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's just sad that I feel like our society isn't, that's not the primary concern anymore. It's more about acquiring wealth. It's about consuming. It's about all this other crap. It truly
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
No, and I felt even down to, you know, they saturate the market with some certain style of clothes, whether it's big bells. I mean, the older you get, the more cycles you see of this, where
Yeah.
it's like they saturate the market with some certain fashion, and then once they've saturated it and people aren't buying it, then they'll make someone in the movies be a total nerd wearing those clothes, and then the cool people are wearing a different new clothes, so they make all your clothes be obsolete. And it's just and they're eating babies
You know?
beyond the filming. You know, it's just I'm so like I'm
over it
63 years old and I've just seen it all, you know.
for sure. And did you end up going through all of the files, by the way? I forgot to ask you.
Oh no,
I mean,
there's
I
three
know
and a
that they've
half
only
million.
released, right. I know they've only released like 2%. Have you read those 2%, would you say?
No, there's 3.5 million. But
Okay.
no, I cried all the way through that live stream about Nogales. I couldn't even, everything that was said, I started crying more because I had been reading them for like 3 days straight. And I realized this is better left to people who are not quite so sensitive as me. Because
Yeah.
when I see a picture of a little girl tied up, I'm crying because I wanted a grandchild so bad and I'll
No.
never have one. And here they
I wish you
are
could have.
about to kill this one, you know, and it's too much for my brain and my heart, and it just tore my soul apart.
Hmm.
But so I stopped after that. I stopped after that live stream. You know, sometimes I'll see one that comes up on the X, but I pretty much, you know, and then it was super disappointing to see Deepak Chopra in there. Like I had one of his, oh, How to Be Happy audiobook on my phone
Is he
that I
that guy
listened
that's
to.
on CNN a lot?
He's the
It's
East
like the
Indian
feel
guy.
good.
Yeah. Oh, how to
Okay.
be happy, how to be successful. And here he is. Little girls are divine. Na, na, na. You know, and it's
It's
very
demonic.
disappointing. Very disappointing. So I stopped. I stopped because it's just better left to people who have a little thicker skin, I think, than
No, I would be.
it devastated me,
No.
but at the same time it freed me because after that I was like, there's nothing that's external to me that I'm ever gonna let affect my self-esteem again. You know, this whole matrix they created is false.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in that sense it's
No.
good for everyone to know what they're really about. But I had to stop.
Well, I'm glad that you know the truth, you know what exists out there. And honestly, a lot of people can't even comprehend how dark and evil it truly is. I know it's pretty startling, pretty scary to some people. Well, most people, as soon as you wrap your head around it, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe that that's what our world, that's really happening in our world today.
It's shocking. It's
It
real
is shocking.
shocking.
We're not supposed to understand it. It's too evil. It's too dark.
Yeah, but they're running the planet.
Uh-huh.
They're running the planet and they've got a plan and they're carrying out the plan and
Completely.
nobody really does anything. Like
No.
I would think that there would be people lined up at the water treatment places to prevent the trucks with the fluoride from coming in. Like
I know. They push it.
or I would think there would be people preventing these planes from taking off with all the chemtrails.
Right.
But nobody does anything.
Hey, was it true that during the whole government, I think it was the beginning of the government shutdown, that all of a sudden there was no longer any chemtrails in the sky? I read that.
That
I don't know
was
if it's
true.
true though.
That was
It
true the
was
whole
true.
time
Okay.
because they're
Okay.
leaving from military bases. That's where
Of
they're taking
course.
off from military bases. And it's worldwide, so it's like
Yeah.
some globalist agenda thing
Part of it.
that they've
Mm,
been studying for 50 years on how to sedate populations by spraying them with stuff. And everyone's sick and depressed and you know,
I know. It is super dark. Yeah, somebody said Ruby Leader says so dark, so shocking. They want a one world government. Yeah, I know. And my eyes opened to that fact, I think in 2008, right after I had my son, who's now 17, is when my eyes became open to the whole agenda. And I thought it was bad back then. So seeing what's gone on since then, coming up to today, it's like startling, it's shocking just how far they've come in their pursuit to achieving that one world government idea. It is wild. When did your eyes open, Donna? Was it in 2012, 2013?
it was after my daughter died. So,
Okay.
you know what? Honestly, before she died,
Yeah.
I wasn't even aware of those. If the doctor said something, I believed it. If they said you need a shot, I believed it. I never questioned, you know, I figured everything at this store, the grocery store, is meant to be eaten. Like I
Yeah.
didn't, you know, I cared more about shopping and getting my nails done than I cared about anything. But then when Nicole died, because I was an activist then, a lot of people, and I was exposing a lot of stuff, government corruption and stuff with my psychic skills. Like I could go into a room of government people and know exactly what they're up to, and then go look at the papers, find the papers to prove it. So it was like the reverse of most people doing research. And
Gotcha.
so some people thought that was why she was killed. And I didn't believe that. I still don't believe that. But then I listened to Alex Jones. I ran across Alex Jones. He was still on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a nut. What a nut. He's saying the American
Everybody
government
thinks
would
he's
kill
crazy at
children.
first.
Like, so I actually went through 3 of his episodes, were 3 hours long, and I paused every time he made it took me like a week to do this. I was so determined to prove him wrong. Like, this psycho, he's saying that Americans would bomb a cafe in Italy just to get people to go to war. And I'm like, and then it's called Operation Gladio, he said. So I stop and go on the White House website, and they have it declassified, and it's true. It's true. An Italian parliament member got a hold of that and declassified it and gave it to all the media, and it's true. We did. We bombed a double-decker bus, and we bombed a cafe. We killed people. And then I was like, it started cracking open the facade, Because I literally, how fast he talks and he yells and stuff?
Yes.
So I don't really listen to him because it stresses me out. But I did spend that amount of time and paused every statement, and every single statement he made, I could confirm independently from other sources.
Okay.
So that started opening my eyes. And then I thought, there's a lot of suspicious deaths because people were saying that. So I made a binder and I started looking into suspicious deaths. And I got up to like 150 whistleblower deaths. And then I started getting freaked out. So I put that up. That's when I
it'll
started
scare you.
questioning things. I started questioning things after that and really like looking beyond the surface. But before that, when Nicole was still alive, no, my whole highlight was if she had time to go shopping, shopping was a hobby. Let's go shopping. That's a hobby.
Yeah.
Get some clothes and get our nails
get it.
done. That literally, that's, I had no suspicion of anything.
You believed
funny?
what they told you. Yes.
Yeah. Other than I did have some because I was exposed, but it was more local and related to medical marijuana, and stuff. But it was after when I did that when I started being suspicious.
Okay.
Kind of looking through things and stuff.
And that's what's kind of changed you in the direction that you are now.
Yeah, it's there's no more illusions left with me.
See it for what it is. Yeah. Yeah. I get it completely. Okay. We had somebody ask, here's the comment, that they would like to ask some questions about Nancy Guthrie case. Are you open to answering a few questions?
Sure.
And also I need to say thank you to Skyby. Skyby, are you still in here? Skyby50. Thank you so much for your $10 donation. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
And Blue Muse, who says we are burnt out empaths, and that makes us
Yeah.
dangerous, baby, and a really
are.
powerful one. That's true. You
Very
come to a
burnt
point
out.
You
In
have nothing
fact-
left to lose, and you're
Yeah.
an empath. And I tell you, there's a lot of you out there. If you join as a member, I do these Zoom groups. I put the link in the membership. And
That's a cool group.
I
like your
love
group.
teaching people.
That's
I
a cool
don't
group.
pretend this is like some secret only I could do because I don't think we have that kind of time. I think as many people that want to facilitate their skills, I'm willing to teach you if you want to join on my channel.
Yeah, that the reading or not reading exercises, or maybe that is what you call them, but the exercises where you're shown a picture. I was in your group listening to you guys do that, and it was so interesting to see what each person picked up and how they ended up being relevant, the things that people would pick up intuitively on this photo. That was so
People
cool,
don't
Donna.
realize you have almost everyone has an ability even to communicate with the spirit world, and you've been lied to. Like, really, do you really think God would create you with a pineal gland? That's your antenna to the spirit world if you weren't meant to use it.
That's basically intuitive. Intuition comes from that same area, right, Donna? Or no?
Well, you have an energy field all around your body that's like about 1.5 to about 3 feet around your body. Like you're actually walking around in a bubble, but you don't realize it. That's an
Yeah.
energy field. So if you expand your consciousness by meditation, and also there's like breathing exercises that help expand your consciousness, you can pick up stuff right out of it's called the unified field. The air between us actually is full of information.
Okay.
That Tesla figured that out 100 years ago or whenever, you know,
You're
that,
talking
yeah.
Nikolai Tesla? You're talking about
Yeah, so
the
that's like
inventor?
psychic. And then the next level up is communicating with spirit people or aliens or whoever you want to communicate with. That's your pineal gland is like an antenna. So, but your heart also works. So it's like the whole of you that everyone can learn to expand that way.
So interesting. Let's see. Jill Kindle says, Hallelujah, Donna. I believe the same. I think we've got a lot of like-minded folks in here. Really awesome people. I've missed everybody in here so much, and I'm sorry it's been forever since we did anything together. It's like seriously been at least 5 months, right?
I think we were really thrown off by being
The
attacked like
attacks.
that. It's really brutal on YouTube, and they have these
This.
people that just have these entire channels full of hate and
Yep.
doxing and
And they're protected when they attack people like you and I. They're protected and we're not. For us to try to speak
yeah,
out against us or against them, we'll be the ones who suffer.
yeah, it's pointless. Well, if you go down to
Yes.
somebody else's level when that's the level they're at, I don't really want to be at that level. So
No, I don't either. I'm glad we just sort of bowed out, dealt with it, whatever, and we're back now. But that was
yeah,
horrible. That was horrible abuse. And it was from people that are such bottom dwellers, horrible human beings. They've got their history with the law. I mean, they've got multiple exes and problems and scandals behind them. And what do? We come on and actually talk about cases and the crazy government and the Epstein files.
yeah.
Like, we
And
stay on point,
YouTube
on
doesn't do
topic.
anything about it.
We're not attacking people. We're not causing all sorts of strife. It's just absolute garbage. So, yeah. Okay. Questions, guys. What kind of questions? Let's not inundate her too much with the questions because I know she's still recovering. But maybe a few questions we could take about the Nancy Guthrie case.
Sure.
You cool? You good with that? Okay. Real quick, Ziggy says, "Yeah, they are protected. It's insane. I haven't even had a chance to tell you, sweetie. Good for you, Ziggy. I filed harassment lawsuit and copyright infringement lawsuit. Good for you. I'm so glad you're doing that. Yeah, you got to fire back at these people. They're so evil. Found great comfort in allegedly innocence community. I love allegedly innocent. Jules of Thought. She's awesome. Good job, Ziggy. I'm glad. Okay, guys, what kinds of questions do you have? Blue Muse says, in 2008, I had the best job ever. And that is when I woke up. I would drive this stretch of the highway and I could not stop bawling. I didn't understand for a while. I had that experience years ago myself.
Yeah,
I
it
just
can break
couldn't.
you open, but it's
Yes.
important to move forward because it's actually pretty liberating after the shock wears off
Hmm.
to not be influenced. I mean, even science. Like there's people talking about torturing, professors of Harvard are giving Epstein advice on how to torture babies, make babies suck harder by starving them for a couple days. Like
Oh,
that's
God.
that's the scientist at Harvard. It's sick. And we don't need
It's horrible.
anything from this world to believe in what they say anymore, you know?
100%. Yeah. Jocelyn is asking, I want to know about the sheriff. Have you picked anything up on the sheriff, Donna? Anything at all?
No, he's not in my psychic readings, and only what I've read, just like everyone else. Like he got in trouble at his last job, and he's filming a reality show about himself, stuff like that. But
Okay.
I haven't like. So if I wanted to pick something up, I also have to meditate. and I have to like, well, I don't have to, but I do. I like meditate and I pray. So I have to be really passionate about, like say with Nancy, like I'm just like, who would do this to someone's mom? That's so rude. Like an
Hmm.
84-year-old, what a
Oh, it's
horrible,
terrible.
horrible,
It's terrible.
And so then I'm
Yeah.
highly motivated to go sit down and start praying about it. But with the sheriff, it's like, I don't really care. And it's not that I don't care, but I don't care enough to go sit there and spend time. And you know what happens a lot is like, well, I did this little thing on Charlie Kirk, which was just a couple minutes long, but I had to cut off the front, to put
Yeah.
it up because I don't want to get myself into trouble. And then after a minute or two, I started talking to Nicole and my dog Rocky. I'm like, Nicole,
Yeah.
Rocky. And then it's like Charlie Kirk, it's like my subconscious cares about what I care about. And I'm
Yeah.
passed out unconscious and I'm talking to my daughter. I should put up the
Okay.
whole readings like that. They just show me doing.
I wish you would, just all of it, because I think what's so interesting about your readings is the listener feels like they're in that time and place with you. And the more
Hmm.
descriptive you are, the more we go to that time and place. So
Yeah,
it opens our eyes, our awareness a lot just by the more description you give, the more
I
detail.
know. I know I would like to, but I don't want to get killed.
I
So
know.
there's
No,
like
I
on
get it.
some of these murders, it's already risky, but you kind of know the one or two people you got to watch out for. But here
Yeah.
it'd be, any one of a network. So
Right. Real quick, what was that case in Northern California? What is her name? You know who I'm talking about? The perpetrator is a casino heir.
oh yeah, Nikki McCain.
Nikki McCain. Didn't some of the information that you gave in your reading come out to be fact in the
Oh
news
yeah, yeah.
later?
Because I did a reading
Thought
for
so.
her sisters. Two of her
Yep.
sisters were on the phone, and I was saying this guy helped. He has an orange stepside truck, and just look around
Remember.
town for that guy because he didn't want to help. He didn't know what he was getting into. He's the one who would talk and all this kind of stuff. They didn't know who I was talking about. And then somebody else contacted me and sent me. It's his cousin. It's the perpetrator's cousin, and well, what's interesting is he had a gray stepside truck primered, and he had the 20 gallons of paint in his garage.
Oh,
At the time I did
dang.
the reading, and I'm going, it's an orange stepside truck. So it's like the spirits know it's going to be an orange stepside truck. And
That's
then I think he
wild.
got it professionally painted, and then he put it up for sale. So I was able to get pictures of it. Yeah, so I
That's
made a little
amazing
video
because
about that.
that first came from you. Because I remember when you put that reading out. And
Yeah, isn't that
everybody's
interesting?
going, step-side truck, like, what's that? You know? And then sure
Yeah,
enough, it comes out in the news. It comes out in it was somebody did an article about it, about
yeah.
the
So that
setting,
was his
the
cousin, and
situation.
at the preliminary hearing, he did testify. He only
Wow.
claims that that the guy showed up at his house and wanted a ride, like when he went and ditched one of the vehicles or something. So he
Okay.
claims but I mean, I publicly said they should offer him 100% immunity to say where the body might be, because he may know where it is. I don't know if
He
he knows where it
probably
is,
does.
but
He
if he
probably does.
does, because it's not like he was part of it. He didn't know what he was getting into when the guy showed up at his house.
Right.
And he wasn't happy. Like I was already picking up when I was doing the reading, like this guy would talk. He wants him to get busted.
Hmm.
He was
He knows
not
how
part of
evil
the
he is.
crime.
Hmm.
Other than, I mean, if the guy says, "Oh, give me a ride," and then you find out your cousin's got a body in the trunk.
Oh, God.
So
That's horrible. Here's a question for you, Donna. Do you feel that Nancy had passed before they put her in the incinerator?
I I know someone was going to ask that, and I don't. I can't lie to you, so I'm not going to say that she had passed.
So
Unfortunately,
you felt she was alive. She was alive when they're putting her. That's what you felt psychically.
I saw I saw her wiggling.
And for the people who are new in here, I just wish you could understand that when Donna says that like that, you could take it to the bank. She's really right on, guys. It's
It's real sad.
diabolical.
I'm sure it was over real fast because a fire would make it so your body
Oh
was
my God.
disabled real fast. But it felt, what it felt like was, say if they shot her, they would have to clean something up. If the more
Mhm.
they touched her, the more DNA there would be potentially. They just stuck her in the incinerator. They just drove straight there and stuck her in the incinerator.
And you
She
feel
was
it's at
tied up. She was
least,
bound and gagged.
and you feel it was at least three men or men, three men.
One time I said four, and then the other times it looks like I said three. So I don't know. I don't know if there was a fourth one that got out and went somewhere else, or if there was three. I'm not positive, but I know there was more than two. There was two in the house at least, but then there's the driver, and so I'm not positive if there's three or four. And
Right.
they're not the originators though. They're not the ones that even cared. It was a job to them. That they were hired. It was a
Was their
job.
order?
It's got contracted from somewhere
Okay.
else.
One above them.
Yeah, the vehicle I saw was a dark van. And there's a chance with
Okay.
it being late at night like that maybe it was a white van and it just looked dark to me. But I saw it as a dark colored van. So I saw them take a left. So if the police were looking for cameras, then they would be looking for, if they saw a dark colored van, that's probably it.
When you say left, do you mean if I'm in her driveway and I turn around and I exit to leave, I would take a left out? Is that
Yeah,
what you mean?
left out of the driveway.
Okay.
Because when you look at a map, it kind of looks like it'd be closer to go to the right to main road, but it looks like they went left.
Okay. It's very descriptive. See, in my experience, you have that ability that's kind of like a fly on the wall. Like you see the things that law enforcement can't pretend to know because they just don't know that stuff, but you seem to pick it up. It's really amazing.
Yeah,
Bye,
and the whole time
Skyby.
I'm
Good to see
saying
you.
what I'm seeing by the side of the road. So, yeah.
It's so sick. And to do this to an 84-year-old lady.
Yeah,
The sick.
and they had no feelings about it.
No.
There wasn't let's torture her or let's laugh at what we're doing or this. There was just no feelings. None. No feelings. It was just matter of fact.
I
Job.
don't know how anybody could be so ice cold, but they can.
I thought that the person put her over his shoulder is what I thought.
I wouldn't be surprised. Now the back doors being open, being I guess held open with maybe a plant or something. Do you feel like you saw any of that from your first reading, or you didn't pick that up yet?
I saw someone go in a back door, but
Okay.
more so I saw them kind of like right when you come inside from a back door and wherever there's a dining table, a big dining table is the door closest where they came in. Between the dining table and the wall, and then you would take a right to go to her room. That's where they came in.
They've owned that house. Nancy's owned that house, I think, for like 30, 40 years. I wish there were images of it so we could compare what you're talking about versus the images. I bet you're right on with what you've said as far as the dining table and stuff goes.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, if there's not any more questions, we got to let Donna go because I'm sure she's getting tired now. It's been
You can tell because
a
it's
long
like
one.
instead of acting all fiery, I'm just like, okay.
Hey, you're starting to go to sleep on me there, Donna. No, I'm kidding. I get tired too at about this 2-hour mark. I'm like, okay.
I feel
I
bad
love.
talking about what happened to her, like about the incinerator and stuff. I'm not doing that with any sense of like, ooh, I
No
know.
glee or no.
It's horrible. It's
It is.
sickening, and I think the only benefit is realizing who really did this and how callous and cold they are. That actually helps identify the perpetrators. I mean, not individually. It doesn't like say it's Joe Schmo over here, but the type of people involved. They all leave a trail as to what type of people they are, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very cold and very professional, and it's meant nothing to them.
Do you think these people are watching social media, watching YouTube videos? Have you had any feeling about that? These perps.
Normal murderers usually do. Like,
Yeah,
on these cases where they kill their wife or this or that, they're usually all over in social media. And Brian,
for sure.
the burgeoning serial killer, that he
Yeah,
was on social media. I don't know about
he
this
was.
type. I don't know
Okay.
about this type if they watch social media or not.
Because it's amazing. There's like $1 million reward and nobody has spoken up that we know of yet, anyway.
And
That's
they
a
don't
lot of
pay it
money to put out
anyways.
there.
I would think
Yeah.
most
Well, they
criminals would
don't know
know
that.
that they don't pay. But
Okay.
I've never seen a reward paid. So I started doing, I actually, before when Nicole was alive, I used to see, like, I would see a missing girl on the news and I could see her body where it was. But I was always afraid to call the police, like, they'll come lock me up or they'll put me in a mental hospital. But then
That's
after
happened to
Nicole
people.
died, I
Yeah.
didn't care anymore. It didn't
Okay.
matter to me what they did. So I started working on these cases in my spare time
Hmm.
back then. I don't know what the
Okay.
point of me saying that was, but there was a point to that.
No, I get it. And there are psychics that have spoken up on cases and ended up getting arrested until they found the perp. That has happened. So I understand your apprehension. If you if you are kind of holding back on what you say, because it's happened to people before where they look like the suspect and they're not. They're just a psychic with your ability.
Yeah, and like I wrote when JJ and when Tylee appeared in my living room, and I sat down to do a reading with her. But then I wrote a 10-page letter about the reading, and with
Mhm.
a link to the reading to the cops. And I actually put that in there. The last thing I said, I want to remind you and make very clear, if anyone arrests me, I will be filing a lawsuit. And that the
Good.
last person who was a psychic who turned in information and was arrested got enough from the lawsuit to buy a house. So don't even
There you
think of
go.
it,
Yeah.
you know?
Hmm. Right. You were profoundly accurate on that one. I just
Yeah.
wish you, I won't even go into it, but I was going to say, I still wish that you would get the credit you deserve on that because I feel you were so helpful.
I know. And the
We already
Mormon
know
church
that.
controlled that entire thing, and mainstream
Yeah,
media went
it's
right along
controlled.
with them. See, they all
100%.
look out, they appear to be independent things, but they all look out for each other because they're all doing the same thing behind closed doors.
Yeah, as it turns out. Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. Well, Donna, I guess I'll let you go. I'm so grateful that you came on today and discussed this. And I understand you're not wanting to say everything because it makes sense, your worries, your concerns about it. And I have the
Yeah.
same concerns for you. But thank you for what you did tell us because it still was substantial and it informs us a lot more than anybody else on YouTube.
Yeah. No, yeah,
It does.
when I'm making claims like saying, oh, it's related to the Epstein, there's a lot behind that. But it's people end up dead that try to, push these
Hmm.
issues.
Hmm.
So
No, completely.
I'm going to
Well,
move
thank you.
on to the
Yeah.
scientist, the missing
Oh,
UFO
please
scientist.
do. Please do. That is
Yeah.
really weird. And I would love to see what you pick up.
Yeah. So,
Oh, that's so strange. I know I heard about that recently and my jaw was just on the floor. I'm going, how many? And they're gonna act like this is a coincidence still? I mean, come on. It's not
well, and
any coincidence.
apparently it's happening in China too. They're going missing in China as well. That's
Mm,
weird.
mhm. That is so weird. Okay, somebody says, I have a question, but not about Guthrie. Okay, what is your question while we have her here and then we'll let her go? Blue Muse, what is your question? Number 2 went missing. How is it we finally don't have an echo much now? And it's at
I
the end
know.
of the live stream.
I
How
don't
rude.
know.
Terrible.
It's real annoying though. The technical
It
problems,
is.
because then by the time I ever come online, I'm always stressed out and
Me
nervous.
too.
But I
Me
wasn't
too.
nervous when I started. It's just that I can't, I have a problem with the
Yeah,
electrical.
it's the technical. It's always a pain in the butt.
Oh, hi,
Oh,
Suzanne.
hi,
Suzanne's in my
Suzanne.
class.
It's just
Suzanne's
cute.
in
Good
my
to see you.
class.
Isaac Cappy.
Yeah,
Isaac
he was
Cappy.
he
The
was
name is
definitely
familiar.
he was a child actor, and he came out saying that Tom Hanks was the biggest pedo in Hollywood and Steven Spielberg, and he would name names all the time, and then he was found off a bridge.
How long ago was this?
I
Is
think
it
it's been
Kathy
a
then?
few years for that one.
Okay. I actually didn't know about that. I usually hear about this stuff, but I didn't know about that case. That's wild.
Yeah, I only know about that from being over on X. I know they scared a lot of people, like, don't go on X. You really should. It may change at any time, but currently you can actually say whatever you want on there.
It's very uncensored. But I feel like at the same time, what we might post, it's like your post only gets out there if you have a bunch of people in your following. And I might have like 1,000 people following me. That's not enough
Yeah,
to really get it
that's a
anywhere. It doesn't
problem.
pick up steam. It
They
does.
also suppress you. So, like,
Yeah.
I looked on artificial intelligence, and I said,
Yeah.
if even if you work for the government, if you are aware of murders happening and you don't do anything about them, in fact, you help to cover them up, are you also guilty of murder? And actually, according to the law, you are. And so I
Mhm.
put that on Pam Bondi's Twitter account, and then
Yeah.
they sent me a notice saying I'm being suppressed now. And they've frozen me a bunch of, so you could say what you want, but maybe people won't
Wow.
see it. But you could also do research. People have
Okay.
put up information, and you can find information by searching.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
says you have
Well.
55,000. Oh, is that here on YouTube?
Oh, see, I was talking about Twitter. Like on Twitter, I've got maybe 1,000, maybe 2,000 people that follow me on there, but my posts don't ever go anywhere. I like get like 2 people to comment on them. So
Me too. Me too. Like
yeah.
6 people might see it. And then they want you to pay for your
Oh,
thing to run
yes.
down the stream.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what
a
they
pay
try to
to
make you
play.
do. You
It,
pay them
yeah,
to have people see it. So a lot
I
of
know.
podcasters, people don't realize, are actually paid for by foreign governments or
I
corporations.
believe that a lot. I believe
So when
that.
you listen to someone, you're like, oh, that guy makes sense, this, that, the other. He consider that he may also be paid for by a foreign government.
Completely. I think there's a ton of that going on right now. But
There
like
is.
with oh, go ahead.
Well, they were paying 7,000 if you're willing on your podcast. If you have 100,000 subscribers and you want to do a pro, it's okay to commit genocide thing for Israel, then you get 7,000.
I heard about this a while back.
And they were
Okay.
also paying those same people to insult Candace Owens. So it
Okay.
would appear that everyone hates her. And it looks like even Alex Jones took the money on that one. And then everyone turned on him, and he instantly stopped because everyone was just like, oh no,
Yeah.
So
With the Twitter thing, what pissed me off so bad was you pay the 110 or whatever to have the check mark next to your name, right? And when when the year wore out, gone. All of a sudden, my posts do absolutely nothing. So I think you're totally right in what you said, how you have to pay to get any sort of,
yeah,
what
and
do
you can
you
pay
know,
even more to
momentum.
have a premium account. Like you can pay like $150 a month, and then they'll guarantee you that your posts show up in the live streams. I had to block a couple
Garbage.
of these big people I don't even know just to not see their stuff because I'm not even
Yeah.
following them, and they drive me crazy.
Mhm.
I forgot this name, Laura Loomer.
Laura
Ah,
Loomer. Yeah,
puke,
there's a lot of crazy
puke.
people on
And
there.
and so I had blocked her to not see her. So there's big money pushing some of these people. And even
I'm
on
sure.
YouTube, like if they're signed up with Sirius Radio or they're signed up with NBC, then NBC or Sirius Radio gives a blanket amount to YouTube to put those ones at the top of the stream.
Hmm. I
So
believe it.
the way
No
things
shock
really
there.
work in the background is a little different than people might think.
Completely. It's very eye-opening once you connect the dots, I think. And a lot of people in our comments, I feel like they've connected those dots. They're in the know.
Yeah.
Terry Weeks says, I don't really believe in psychics yet. I believe in prophetess. I can't say the word.
Prophetesses.
Prophetess. Yeah,
I know.
prophetesses.
Do you know when
Yeah.
I had to give my channel a name because I wasn't planning on having a channel and then it just took off. Then I wanted to give it a name so people could look up about Tylee and JJ. I I wanted to call it Spiritualist Reverend Donna Serafina, because that's what I am.
Mhm.
And I worked real hard, and it was real meaningful to me to earn that title. And but I thought nobody will even know what a spiritualist is, and they won't be able to find me. And my priority was finding Tylee and JJ. So I know it's like a corny name, Psychic Reverend Donna Serafina, although people get so mad
Well,
about it, I think that they know who I am. But
I get it. I mean, the name that I have on there, I wish I didn't have Sweetie PieLo, but it just stuck. It just worked. My video ended up doing okay, so I go, okay, well, I guess that's my name. But if I could do it all over again, I'd probably just go by my name or something. I don't know, instead of
yeah,
this.
I know, because then if you change it in the middle, then they might think it's not yours.
Exactly. Well, and nobody will know. Well, who's Lauren? Who's what? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just
and they
like, yeah,
go to search
whatever.
for you, and it doesn't come up anymore and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'm kind of stuck with it at this rate.
Well, that's the problem, is it? So if I turned around and did it, then people who haven't seen me in a while would look for me and they wouldn't see me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make a second channel anyway, so that will have a
You
different name.
should. And that's what I need to do also, because I feel like there's, like we were saying about being suppressed, there's quite a bit of that, I think, on YouTube. As soon as you start saying certain things, they sort of box you into the
Yeah,
no man's
because
land.
we said Epstein a million times, that this will probably be suppressed. Yes.
Oh, for sure. I believe you're right.
And every time I put up something about war,
Yeah.
they have suppressed me. So I used to get like
It,
50,000 views on my readings, and they wanted me to take something down, and I refused my World War III thing. So then all of a sudden I was only getting 10,000. And then I put up the China balloon, and I got another threat, and then I was only getting 5,000. And so
mhm.
people who are subscribed say they don't even see me come up.
No, that's
So that's why you
100%
got to
true.
start a second channel.
Yeah, I don't get your alerts at all, Donna, right now. I don't know when you put a video out unless you send me a message and you're like, hey, I put a video out yesterday. I'm like, oh, you did? Okay, I'm gonna go check it out. But I
I
don't
know.
know.
And I'm suppressed on Facebook, and I'm suppressed on X. So you can speak the truth
Yes.
somewhere, but nobody might hear you.
Yeah. And guys, make sure that you go over and subscribe to Donna. If you are not, make sure that you do, because her channel is a wealth of info, especially with these different cases we've followed. If you want to know anything about anything that she's covered, you'll find the answers there, in my experience. She's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of like I even did a reading for Liberty German's mom from
Yep.
Delphi. So it's
I remember that.
mostly a mom and her child rather than the crime, but
Yeah,
I thought it was a really nice reading.
it was. It was really sweet. That was the first reading that you did that made me cry. Like I really cried as I was hearing the mom cry.
Yeah.
It was like it broke me down. I remember that.
Yeah,
It's really
because
sad.
when I first went to my first mediumship workshop and
Mhm.
someone did a reading for me, I realized that's the only reason I went there. I didn't care about doing it for anyone else. And
Yeah.
but when someone did that for me, and I knew she couldn't be saying those things unless Nicole was like right there giving it to her, I thought, that could give my life meaning, because I was feeling like with my daughter dead, why am I here? And because she was
Oh,
my
for
only
sure.
child. And then so I thought, I'm going to learn how to do this really good, and then do it for our other parents and show them that their kids still exist and stuff.
That's so cool. It's turn your pain into like a good mission to
Yeah,
help
I think
others.
that's the best thing to do with trauma and pain, is find a way to help the world, because then it heals you too at the same time.
I agree. That's so true.
Yeah, I'm
It's
starving. Let's see what time.
okay. I'll let you go. I'll let you go. It's so good to see you, Donna, as always. And guys, please subscribe to the channel, like the channel. Also, guys, I've been doing live selling on Friday, sometimes Saturday nights. I have a show on Saturday. In the description, if you click the link, you can come over and watch me this Saturday. It's me and my husband. We sell clothing, beauty products, all sorts of stuff. But I
So
would
how
love to
is
see
that
some.
compared to, like, is it a relief,
Yeah,
like a sigh of relief from the crime things that we've
it
been
is. I
talking
actually
about?
really enjoy it. I love the people that I've been connecting with on there. I've got a really good loyal audience now, and they show up for Steve and I every time we come on live, and They buy from us. They're awesome, just amazing people. So yeah, it kind of gives me a break from the true crime, though I still love the true crime.
Hmm.
But I really enjoy running a store. It's great. I do it. I run a store on eBay, and now I do the online selling, and I enjoy it so much. Like I feel like I have a different purpose now. And I know that sounds shallow because you're just selling things, but I love connecting with the people. I love over delivering when they order something, just making their experience really meaningful.
No,
There's
you
just a
have
lot
a
of really,
natural talent for like anytime I'm with you, I feel calmed down. I feel
oh, thank
grounded,
you.
you know.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate it,
did you
Donna.
say
And you do
this
too.
lady's asking, did you say you put a link to your eBay
I
channel in
did.
your description box?
Yep. Yeah,
What is
everything's in the description box. And my show that will be going live this Saturday night, Steve and I will be selling. You can click on that. You'll get a $15 coupon and you guys can come over and hang out with us. You don't have to buy anything, but it will give you a $15 off coupon.
I'm gonna check that out.
I
Yeah, I
want you
think it
to,
must
Donna.
be nice. It must
It's
be
fun.
nice. Like I keep thinking I'm gonna do something on YouTube that's not so horrible, but then
Yep.
these things keep coming to me. So, you
Yeah,
know, but that sounds like a
for sure.
nice relief and just something
Oh, I love
pleasant.
it. I
Yeah.
really love it. Yeah. And it is pleasant. And the people have been wonderful. I just can't say enough good things about the experience. I'm enjoying it so much. But
That's
I
good.
haven't forgot about YouTube. I'll be here still. I just got to make more of an effort to show up, you
Yeah,
know?
me too. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we just needed to. I just thought the best thing to do while those people are attacking me is just bow out. You
That's
know,
how I felt too. Yeah, just give it time. And then
I
I
don't
had
feel like
some
fighting
loon.
with people.
Oh, I know. I had some loon write recently in a comment saying, "Well, how did it work out for you? All the stuff that you were saying, and now you guys are wrecked and blah blah." Talking about you, and I said, "No, we're fine." I said, "Donna's been going through some stuff, and I've been working on my business." I said, "We're both fine. Like that didn't
We're
destroy us.
adults. No, it
We're
didn't
adults."
destroy
Yeah,
us. I'm not into it. I'm not in junior high school. You know, these people act like they've never emotionally developed past when they started using heavy drugs and
exactly.
committing crimes, and they have never kind of emotionally matured. And I'm not going to sit
Completely.
there and play in the mud with them.
No, we're not doing that. No way. We don't have time for that.
Mm-mm. I'd rather go walk at the beach or go to church or something.
Absolutely. Do something positive. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, Donna, thanks again. Everybody, thank you for being here. For the mods, thank you so much for helping us. And as usual, Donna, it's always so good to talk to you and see you. And I hope that you continue to feel better and continue to heal.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Yes. Lots of love always to you and this healing process.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Take care,
bye
everybody.
everyone.
Bye, guys. Bye.